Richland's Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Built Right. One location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Six o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Monday, January 20th. Our top story, bitter cold grips southeast Wisconsin.
I'm Erik, Bilstad. Inauguration Day.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking good out on the roads right now. Just remember, if you are going to try and warm your car up, don't do it with the garage door closed. Just a little safety tip from your pal Deb. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Fair enough. That's solid advice. Thanks, Deb. Mostly sunny, very cold today. Our high temperature of just 5 degrees, but it'll be a minute before we get there. Wind chills dipping to perhaps 30 below. Mostly clear, very cold tonight. Tonight's low, 10 below at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. And right now, we're at -4 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning. More on the historic day in the nation's capital ahead in just a moment, but let's start here with this coldest winter air of the season. Temperatures starting off below zero. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Morris says we won't see much improvement.
So where do we go from here for the rest of the day? Well, it stays miserably cold pretty much all day long. Wind chills close to 20 below this morning. We'll get into the teens below zero this afternoon. Similar high temperatures to yesterday, only getting a couple degrees on the positive side of zero later on this afternoon.
Whole bunch of advisories and such here. I'll get through a few of them. Cold weather advisory in effect for today through noon Tuesday for wind chills of 20 to 30 below zero. An extreme cold warning set to go in effect for areas north and west of Milwaukee from midnight tonight until noon Tuesday with wind chills as low as 35 below. The complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 6:10.
The bitter cold is being blamed for a man's death in Milwaukee over the weekend. On the south side, 80-year-old was found dead on the sidewalk near 12th and Orchard early Sunday. Initial investigation shows he did collapse on the sidewalk. Autopsy scheduled for today.
Stage is set literally for President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House. Ceremony is set to take place inside the Capitol Rotunda later this morning due to cold weather in Washington. ABC's Christiane Cordero.
At the Inauguration Eve rally, Kid Rock and the Village People performed alongside Trump's signature dance. The president-elect then doubling down on a series of campaign promises.
Within hours of taking office, I will sign dozens of executive orders.
Top officials tell ABC News Trump plans to take more than 200 executive actions on his first day in office under one document in what they are calling an omnibus executive action.
As for security, U.S. Secret Service says while the country remains in a heightened threat environment, there is no active direct threat to the inauguration.
The president-elect is promising raids targeting illegal migrants once he takes office, but where they'll take place is not certain. ABC's Mariel Villarreal reports from New Mexico.
In Mexico, immigration officials ramping up shelter capacity, bracing for an influx of deportees in border cities that could create chaos. The news stoking deportation fears, lines wrapping around a federal immigration building in Charlotte as people try to get their cases heard. And in Chicago, nonprofit groups say people are terrified to leave their homes.
Trump is expected to declare a national emergency on the U.S.-Mexico border. He ordered troops to build more infrastructure along the border and relaunch his Remain in Mexico policy for migrants. Federal agents were also expected to plan mass deportations in Chicago and other sanctuary cities.
Just hours after the social media platform TikTok shut down, it came back online for its 170 million U.S. users. The app showing a message thanking President-elect Trump for intervening. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
TikTok restoring service shortly after President-elect Trump stepped in, promising to delay enforcement of the ban by signing an executive order when he takes office today.
TikTok is back.
Trump saying his administration will not enforce hefty fines against tech companies like Apple, Google, and Oracle, which keep TikTok working. But Trump's options to save the app are still limited. The law requires TikTok's Chinese parent company to divest its stake in TikTok's U.S. platform due to national security concerns.
The brief TikTok ban being blamed for a suspected arson at a congressman's office in Fond du Lac.
A 19-year-old Menasha man was taken into custody Sunday for setting fire to 525 North Peters Avenue in Fond du Lac, which has office space leased to U.S. Representative Glenn Grothman. Officials for the Fond du Lac Police Department said in a statement the suspect admitted to starting the fire in response to the national TikTok ban. The building was unoccupied and no one was injured in the fire, and the man is currently in custody. Charges are pending. Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
TikTok CEO is expected to be in attendance at today's inauguration, along with other tech moguls.
Coming up, a positive 36 hours in the Middle East. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
You're going to be happy, happy, happy.
and with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
Or a better diamond.
Or a better price.
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate.
We've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
Oh man, take a look at my life.
No Corona! All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:07.
Bucks are about to do something we haven't done in a week. We've got sports coming up at 6:15.
Today's not just Inauguration Day, it's also Martin Luther King Jr. Day. In Milwaukee, that means there'll be no garbage or recycling pickup, as will be the case in some other areas as well. Parking meters, hourly parking restrictions, and overnight parking enforcement will be suspended until Tuesday. Post offices, federal buildings, banks, and many schools closed today.
A rally and march honoring Dr. King planned for Washington today. Speaking at a church in South Carolina Sunday, President Biden told the congregation Dr. King inspired him to enter public service.
First got involved in public life because of the civil rights movement. I'd attend 7:30 Mass at my church, then I'd go to another morning service at the AME Church in Delaware. The Black Church, the spiritual home of the Black experience.
Reverend Al Sharpton plans to lead the march from McPherson Square to the Metropolitan AME Church for a noon rally.
The death toll for the wildfires in Southern California now at 27. News Nation's Mill Hayes reports some residents are still trying to save their homes despite the evacuation orders.
Kevin stayed behind to try and save the apartment complex.
This was a wild beast. It was something I'll never forget. It was unbelievable.
An AP review found that homes were already burning and escape routes jammed when the Pacific Palisades evacuation order came.
I feel personally that there should have been some sort of warning that morning.
Doctor and single mom Anna Shu tried to go back for her 7-year-old cat Candy Corn, but was turned away by first responders.
I do feel a sense of loss that I fail my cat and I fail my girls.
The president-elect Trump is expected to visit Southern California later this week, perhaps on Friday.
Eric asked if we needed to know the name of the cat. When the cat's name is Candy Corn.
You got to say that?
Yeah, you do. You need to share that. The Israel-Hamas ceasefire has so far remained intact following a pause in fighting that got underway Sunday morning. News Nation's Natasha Zufes.
33 people in total will be freed from Gaza over the next 6 weeks if all goes to plan, in exchange for nearly 2,000 Palestinians. And in phase 2, the remaining hostages will be released and the ceasefire will become permanent, with Israeli forces withdrawing ahead of phase 3, where the deceased hostages are returned and the reconstruction of Gaza is set to begin. Now, these steps still need to be negotiated. So many hostage families, of course, still on edge.
The start of the ceasefire deal delayed because Israel said Hamas did not provide the names of the first 3 hostages that were ultimately released on Sunday. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:10.
January, I know. Not the greatest always, right? WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you've got the January blues, brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. Enjoy any steak, seafood, pan-fried walleye, a fresh salad, the steak and lobster, anything on the menu. You got it. Your second dinner is always free. Desserts and those huge ice cream drinks are buy one, get one free. I think it's the best part of the meal. Sip on an old-fashioned. Check out the Manhattan, bourbon, 100 wines, ice-cold beer out of the tap. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is truly a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations are still up with thousands of lights, the Christmas characters. It's a must-see, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces keep you warm on a cold January night. Nice and cozy. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. Enjoy your free dinner tonight. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
At 6:10, what's happening on the roads, Debbie?
Not much, Vince. We're looking pretty good. No delays pretty much anywhere right now, and also no incidents or road conditions are looking pretty good. However, it is nasty cold out there, so please be careful. Make sure you pack all of your safety stuff in your car, too, because you never know if your car breaks down. You do not want to get stuck out in this. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly sunny and very cold for today. High temperatures in the single digits, but wind chills 15 to 30 below. We do have a cold weather advisory that continues for today. Tonight, temperatures plummet, lows near 10 below near the lakefront. Even colder inland, wind chills close to 30 to 35 below late tonight into Tuesday morning. Tuesday will be another cold day. High temperatures in the single digits, wind chills well below 0. Wednesday will be the day we start to warm up. The chance for some scattered snow showers along a warm front as high temperatures in the afternoon climb into the lower 20s. Mid-20s on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies. Then for Friday, more sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now at 4 below 0.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
It is stupid cold today here, getting colder still.
Jeez. There's no other way to describe it, honestly. That was painful.
Yeah, and it's getting worse. Like tonight into tomorrow morning, going to be even colder. But at some point, what's the difference between 4 below and 10 below?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Martin Luther King Jr. Day across America and the presidential inauguration later this morning.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I don't know that you can call it stupid cold in Washington, but cold enough nonetheless for the president-elect and his team to move the inauguration indoors. It will be in the Capitol Rotunda.
About 600 invited guests are expected to attend. Nearly 8,000 National Guard troops from 40 states are protecting the events. Yeah. Thousands of anti-Trump protesters gathering on the National Mall over the weekend.
Trump is back!
A far different mood about a half mile away. Crowds waiting to get into Trump's rally last night, holding up a cutout of Trump riding a surfboard. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
I can't believe it's been that long since they've been indoors for an inauguration. Yeah, since 85 or 84 election, but the 85 January inauguration.
We've had some cold ones in there. Some days are better than others in terms of the weather. Timeline for today. The president-elect will attend a church service this morning. He and the future First Lady Melania Trump are scheduled to attend the traditional White House tea with President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. And the inauguration itself set to begin about 10:30 our time. Former Archbishop of Milwaukee, Cardinal and Archbishop of New York, Timothy Dolan, among those offering the invocation this morning. And then right about 11 o'clock our time, noon in Washington, you will hear these words. Again.
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
So between the ceremony midday and then the black tie galas tonight, Trump is planning to get to work signing dozens of executive orders.
Within hours of taking office, I will sign dozens of executive orders, close to 100 to be exact, many of which I will be describing in my address tomorrow.
The president-elect at his rally in Washington Sunday is said to be up to 200 executive orders, all with one signature perhaps in what is described as an omnibus executive order. They usually use that for budget bills, right?
Okay.
Where like everything's in there.
Yeah.
So it might just be one signature. Emergency declaration at the border, undoing DEI in government agencies. Among them, also expected some sort of executive order that continues to delay the U.S. ban on TikTok. It was gone. Now it's back.
Strange. That whole situation is very strange.
We will get more into that coming up at 6:20 this morning. Sports up next.
Save big money at Menards. Do you need durable flooring that stands up to life's messes? Update your home with new vinyl plank flooring. Peyton Vinyl Plank comes in 2 styles with a realistic wood look. It features an attached pad for easy installation, plus it's waterproof and durable. Peyton Vinyl Plank flooring is just $139 per square foot. Trust Menards for all your flooring needs. Sale prices good through January 26th.
Save big money at Menards.
Vince Vitrano for Annex Wealth Management. Navigating the world of investment, retirement taxes, estate planning. It's a maze. It's easy to get turned around, to lose your way, to become discouraged. That's where Annex steps in for you. They're a fee-only fiduciary, meaning their only focus is on your best interests. There are no hidden fees, no commissions. You just get skilled guidance tailored to your goals. They guide you through that maze using the collective experience of specialized teams built to serve. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. They meet you where you're at. And if you're like me with a lot of runway between now and retirement or already there, looking for a second opinion from your current partner who might not be cutting it, Annex is ready for you. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. Schedule your own appointment today. That's Annex Wealth Management locations in Brookfield, Mequon, Lake Country, Appleton, downtown inside the Pfister, Madison, Naples, Florida if you need it, and Libertyville, Illinois, available anytime on video conference like Zoom.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Buck's about to do something that we haven't done in a week. Play an away game. Pretty good week of basketball in Milwaukee.
As Ryan Rollins holds on to the ball, fans rise as one as they applaud what has been an unqualified success here on this homestand. The Bucks sweep 4 games in front of the home fans here at Fiserv Forum, and they extend the win streak to 4 with a 123-109 win over the 76ers here tonight.
Dave Kane wrapping it up for us right here on WTMJ. The Sixers were far from full strength. Big star Joel Embiid, he's hurt again and still hurt, right? Among others. The Sixers only played 8 guys on the night.
Wow.
Bucks head coach Doc Rivers.
They had so many guys out. It was one of those games I was thinking early on, let's get through the game. They have so many injuries, so many guys out today that, give them credit. I thought they hung in there.
Got the sense like he almost wanted to do you guys want to not do this? Like, I feel
Should
really
we
bad.
just not play?
Right. Next up for the Bucks, the Pelicans in New Orleans. That's Wednesday night.
How about the NFL's NFC North division this year, right?
The vaunted NFC North.
Best division in football, right? Yeah, no. Detroit gets bounced on Saturday night. The AFC and NFC title games are now set. Eagles will host the Commanders after hanging on to beat the Rams on Sunday. Came down to the wire. As for the Ravens and Bills, they battled it out for a chance to play the Chiefs. Baltimore with the ball, down 8, a minute to go. They score the touchdown. Here's the call on CBS. Jim Nantz when they go for 2.
Roll, flip it, got it. Oh, the ball was dropped. He had the 2-point conversion in his hands. Andrews did not hold on.
Oh, just listen to Romo right here.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore.
Tight end Mark Andrews just dropped the ball, just straight up dropped it.
That's caught 999 out of 1,000.
Can you imagine being a Ravens fan today? That's how you lose a ball that just dropped.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Bills will play the Chiefs next week. College football tonight, national championship game. Ohio State versus Notre Dame. Two teams that have some connections.
Notre Dame coach Marcus Freeman played at Ohio State. The two quarterbacks, Will Howard and Riley Leonard, were roommates at a football camp last summer. But there will be no friendship on the field at 7:30 Eastern when the College Football Playoff National Championship game kicks off on ESPN.
ABC's Will Reeve there to college basketball. UWM falls to Robert Morris, a game they probably should have had, but they were down early and couldn't recover. They lose 81-79. Up next, Wright State on Wednesday.
And Badgers women's basketball in Lincoln tonight, taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's a 7 p.m. tip for Bucky. Badger Sports Update, sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding, and a whole lot more.
Baltimore.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
One way a lot of folks volunteer is maybe sit on a board of a nonprofit. And if you have, you know that leading a nonprofit takes just the right mix of skills, experience, and passion. It is not easy to find those people, but Spano Pratt can help. They specialize in executive recruiting within the nonprofit world, from candidate discovery to assessment and selection, then all the way to onboarding and executive coaching. The team at Spano Pratt, they're experts in identifying talent that align with your purpose and mission. Go to SpanoPratt.com to start your search.
Sick of being bullied by your bank with surprise fees, getting stuck on hold, and bankers who don't get you? Wintrust takes a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way and expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/nobully. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I have a dream. My four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream.
MLK Day today. Hey, Debbie.
Hey there. Nice quiet ride so far this morning. No delays around the area. No incidents either. Just be careful because of the nasty cold out there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Bone-rattling cold. There you go.
There's one description.
Very cold, high of 5, but the wind chill's down to 30 below at times. Tonight, clear, very cold still with a low of 15 below and wind chills down to minus 35. Tuesday, sunny, very cold, a high of 3. Again, wind chills down to 35 below tomorrow. Wednesday, a little bit warmer, a high of 23 with some scattered snow. Right now, it is 18 below with the wind chill at 6:22.
You know what 23 is going to feel like? Amazing.
That's what they're dealing with in Washington. Right? That's balmy.
So it was going to be gone. Talked about it for weeks, if not months. Then it was gone. Then it came back. Its future this morning uncertain.
Happening today.
Shortly after taking the oath of office, President-elect Trump expected to sign an executive order that will delay enforcement of a law that took effect, or was supposed to, Sunday, banning the social media app TikTok in the U.S. So I had the opportunity to watch this unfold in real time. What do you mean unfold?
You saw consumers
yes,
struggling with the app not working.
My Gen Z daughters were watching the app slide away from them late Saturday night.
What's happening right now? Liv, what is happening?
I'm really sad.
Why? What is happening?
TikTok's getting banned. It's crashing.
What do you mean it's getting banned?
Right. I'm like, it's getting, like as if there was something active going on.
Like just pulling it away.
But it was. They were right. While losing their minds at the same time, it was like in the process of slipping away.
It's currently crashing. Like I can't download any of my stuff. My stories archive won't even load. And like when I do get to the TikToks, they don't work. And I can't download anything anymore or post anything.
So at that point, you could still get into the app. But like what the girls super wanted to do was they have videos that they wanted to save or other things that, and again, for a lot of us, we look at this and say, a bunch of kids singing and dancing. Like, she's like, these are my memories. Like, I made these videos. It's my friends. It's my stuff. I don't have it saved in my pictures.
Way to last to the last minute there,
right.
girls.
Like, did we not talk about this for months? Are you surprised? It's actually happening. So by Sunday morning, it was gone.
Yep, it was gone.
You couldn't get into it anymore. And one of the hilarious things that did occur was international TikTokers expressing remorse, sadness, and emptiness.
I want the Americans back. I miss them. I miss them. I've learned my lesson. You can come back now. You can all come back now and join us.
Oh,
Be with us again. We miss you.
It's a guy from Australia pining over the loss of the Americans.
By the way, I did try a VPN to try and see if I could go through a different, how you can be from a different country or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I tried Ireland, Iceland, Canada. I tried Spain. And I think I tried Italy, and none of those worked. So, but then it came back. So
we know all these international TikTokers. Apparently, my kids said the Canadians were like, it's awfully empty in here. This is not a good idea. Like, what are we supposed to do now? Where are the Americans? And we know this because by afternoon Sunday, the app was back.
TikTok restoring service shortly after President-elect Trump stepped in, promising to delay enforcement of the ban by signing an executive order when he takes office today.
TikTok is back.
Trump saying his administration will not enforce hefty fines against tech companies like Apple, Google, and Oracle, which keep TikTok working. But Trump's options to save the app are still limited. The law requires TikTok's Chinese parent company to divest its stake in TikTok's U.S. platform due to national security concerns.
And it's ABC's Andrew Dibbert. Yeah, let's not forget that.
This is law. This was signed into law. It was passed by Congress, signed by President Biden. You can't just not do the law, right? Like, how are we delaying this?
And I think that's a really good
Whether you like TikTok or not, it's the law.
Left or right, because you had Minority Leader Senator Chuck Schumer over in the Senate saying, yep, we should extend this. We should figure out a way, we don't like how it's set up. But like Democrats seem on board. It's not just Trump like enforcing his will here with this executive order. There is bipartisan support now for leaving some more time to try to negotiate a different sort of end. But to your point, exactly. Okay, fine, then go to Congress, pass emergency legislation or whatever. Don't just stand around and say, well, we all agree we're just going to not enforce the law.
Let's see what we can do here.
Nice precedent there.
But the app even said on Sunday, hey, thanks to President Trump for taking care of this. It's like, what? Like, there was a little window on the app.
It's funny, too, the other thing that the Gen Zs are all up in arms about is they're suspicious of it. One thing I love about their generation, they are skeptics, right? They're not buying anything from anybody. And there's all this stuff on there about which of these members of Congress are invested in Meta and for how much and who might stand to gain.
Correct.
There's all of that on there.
Oh, excellent.
There's the continued move to Red Note, which is a worse app if you're worried about the sharing of information with the Chinese Communist Party. And all of them sort of thumbing their nose at their enforcers, people they see is battling against them.
Oh, boy.
So we don't know. Various outlets reporting you still can't download the app. It's no longer available in Google Play or Apple. But for those who have it, you're back for now. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets will be closed due to Martin Luther King Day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed the week at 43,488. That was up 334 points. The NASDAQ at 19,630 was up nearly 300. S&P 500 up about 60 points to 5997. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. So I was looking at some of the bushes that have overgrown on my property, and I love our yard, but I need dormant pruning. That's what takes place during the winter when it's safe to cut back things so you have healthier trees and bushes around your house. Check right now to see if you've got stuff scraping against the siding or needs to be cut back, and schedule it now. Design-build landscaping projects are a year-round topic. Landworks Wisconsin does it the right way every time. They help people achieve their outdoor dreams by creating beautiful landscapes. I love these guys. LandworksWisconsin.com. Check them out today.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
6:30. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Monday, January 20th. Our top story, miserably cold in southeast Wisconsin.
I'm Erik Bilstad, setting the stage in Washington.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We are clear right now. No incidents to report and no delays. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We are looking at a high of just 5 degrees today with wind chills to 30 below.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. With the inauguration of Donald Trump just a few hours away, President Biden has issued a slew of preemptive pardons, including one for the man who led the nation through COVID and another who called Donald Trump a fascist. Here's ABC's Brian Clark.
A final flex of presidential power as President Biden's pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House January 6th committee. All of these people have been heavily criticized by President-elect Trump, who has hinted at revenge against them.
ABC's Karen Travers has a little more on what we know that Donald Trump will say during his second inaugural address.
Trump will say, according to excerpts provided by a senior advisor, quote, "I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success." He'll say a tide of change is sweeping the country.
Today's inauguration will be held inside the Capitol Rotunda because of the cold weather. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a day down, 2 more to go. Arctic air spilling into southeast Wisconsin. Wind chills enhanced by a steady breeze from the northwest. So Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Morris says the worst of the cold actually is into tomorrow morning, when an extreme cold advisory takes effect for portions of our area.
That is north and west of Milwaukee. Most of the counties, including Jefferson, Dodge, Washington, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, and Fond du Lac. That will go in effect at midnight and continue until noon Tuesday for wind chills as low as 35 below, mainly north and west of Milwaukee.
Today, it's a cold weather advisory for all of southeast Wisconsin through noon tomorrow. Wind chills of 20 to 30 below.
A few reminders on ways to keep your home warm and safe during the bitter cold.
There's a few simple things you can do to heat your home more efficiently. Seal gaps around windows and doors. Change your furnace filter. Open the curtains or blinds when the sun is out, but close them at night to retain that heat. Space heaters and electric blankets should always be turned off and unplugged when not in use. A space heater should also be plugged directly into the wall and kept away from flammable materials. Also, to avoid risk for carbon monoxide poisoning, never use an oven to heat your home, and clear snow and ice away from your home's natural gas meter. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Bitter cold blamed for a man's death outdoors in Milwaukee over the weekend. The 80-year-old found dead on the sidewalk 12th and Orchard on the city's south side early Sunday.
Port Washington could be the home of the next Southeast Wisconsin data center, not long after Microsoft announced plans to buy more land in Mount Pleasant. But why do we need so many of these centers? The editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, Timothy Gibbons, tells WTMJ the answer is AI.
Artificial intelligence requires crunching a vast amount of data. They're based on what are called large language models, and the large is the key there. What these data centers do is basically, if you think of it kind of like a warehouse for computers, where there's just a vast amount of data being stored and crunched through there.
This moment, we don't know who would operate that Port Washington data center. It would not be Microsoft.
More than 500 homes on the Oneida Nation Reservation in northeast Wisconsin set to get high-speed internet thanks to a federal grant. More than $6 million from the Department of Commerce set to be used to expand broadband to support education, telehealth, and economic development.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34. Coming up, move over, billionaires.
Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite game, Response in Wisconsin. Guess the most popular responses from Wisconsinites. Okay, here we go. What's your least favorite thing about winter in Wisconsin? Gina Della from Pella.
Let me guess. Frozen toes? Oh, I know. Driving alongside bumper cars every time it snows. And then scrambling to find someone to watch your kids because they're school clothes. Yeah! Let's face it, this is just the time of the year when we just want to all be warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Pella Windows and Doors is the best choice to make your home just right. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years.
Thanks for playing Response in Wisconsin.
Hurry! You only have until January 31st to get 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Bucks will hit the road after a successful homestand. Sports at 6:45.
The first trillionaires are on the way. CNN Business and others are reporting this. 5 people expected to amass at least $1 trillion in wealth within the next decade if the current trends continue. That according to Oxfam's annual inequality report, which was released on Sunday. So there are 5. You want to try to name some of them? All right.
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead. You give me one at a time.
Now, over the next decade, all right, I'll tell you the one I'm least confident in, and now even less confident. Warren Buffett?
Not on the list.
Okay, and especially since he's up there in years, too.
He is.
Does he have a decade yet? You know what I mean? All right, so I'm wrong on there. All right, Musk?
Musk is, yep, that's on there.
Okay, Bezos?
Yep, he's on there.
Bill Gates? Is he still making money or no?
Not on the list.
All right, no Gates.
He's giving too much of his money away, maybe. I don't know.
What about Zuck?
Zuck is on that list, yes. There's 2 more.
Those are my 5. Who am I missing?
The Oracle founder, Larry Ellison, and the CEO of LVMH, Bernard Arnault, and family, also expected to be trillionaires within the next 10 years.
Yeah, trillionaire's the new billionaire, you know.
Which is an unimaginable amount of money. You could buy the planet with $1 trillion.
I was going to say, we should get some comparisons and try and find out what, so that just put it into perspective.
Meaning like how many $1 bills?
Yeah.
You could give
like
to the
stacked
entire
and it reaches
planet.
the moon or something.
What is it? I guess, how much does it cost to like buy islands and stuff? Or small countries?
Billions. Well, small countries more than that probably. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe one of these guys buy Greenland. Or Iceland or whatever we're trying to buy, right? Iceland.
Must jump on that and figure it out.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry, and you should tune in to Spanning the State this week from 1 to 3 p.m. for your chance to win 2 tickets to experience the legendary music of Pink Floyd live in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. This unforgettable show is happening at the Riverside Theater on February 7th. Tickets are on sale now at papstheatergroup.com. You don't want to miss Pink Floyd's legendary music like you've never heard it before, with a full rock band and orchestra. Be sure to tune in to Spanning the State this week for your chance to win.
You got to get to Built Right today. Vince Vitrano here to talk about Built Right's extended New Year's mattress sale. If I knew it was extended, I wouldn't have sent the wife out. Well, actually, she kind of made her own call on that when she says, I'm going to Biltrite to get a mattress. I'm like, you are today? Well, yeah, the sale, and we need it. All right.
And there you go.
Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop, easy to buy. Biltrite will beat any big box, national or local chain store, department store, employee-free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed best, lowest prices. Biltrite also has the best value and selection, as well as their experienced team in Wisconsin. You want stuff in stock? More than 60 models, 500 mattresses in stock right now. Brands you know that are made in America. And removal on any mattress-only purchase of $7.99 or more is free. Biltrite saves you money, voted best place to shop Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Biltrite, just off of I-94 at 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Time's ticking on Heiser's Drive Into 2025 sales event. The clock is literally running out on remaining 2024 models. We're making room for new rides, which means huge savings just for you. Shop online or race in today and get a new vehicle for way less than expected. With low payments, special financing, and immediate delivery, you'll start 2025 in style without breaking the bank. But hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone. Visit Heiser.com now for all of the details and get ready to roll into the new year with a celebratory deal.
See dealer for complete details.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
On this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Debbie, probably light traffic as many folks enjoying the holiday.
Yes, that is correct. It is super light volume right now. Not seeing really any delays or incidents. Everybody's playing nicely out on the roads. I'm Debbie Lozgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly sunny and very cold for today. High temperatures in the single digits, but wind chills 15 to 30 below. We do have a cold weather advisory that continues for today. Tonight, temperatures plummet, lows near 10 below near the lakefront. Even colder inland, wind chills close to 30 to 35 below late tonight into Tuesday morning. Tuesday will be another cold day. High temperatures in the single digits, wind chills well below zero. Wednesday will be the day we start to warm up. The chance for some scattered snow showers along a warm front as high temperatures in the afternoon climb into the lower 20s. Mid-20s on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies. Then for Friday, more sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee right now at 4 below zero with a wind chill of minus 19.
So far, so good. The first prisoner swap is complete in the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. First 3 Israeli hostages released by Hamas on Sunday, reunited with their families.
Here in Tel Aviv, jubilant Israelis watching the transfer live as the former hostages changed hands, laughing, cheering, and crying. Celebrations for Israelis and for Palestinians too. For Gazans, this was the first time it was safe to be out on the streets in 15 months.
That's ABC's Ian Penneler. Yeah, he said there were Gazans also celebrating. This is true. So on their end, early Monday, the first group of dozens of Palestinian prisoners arrived in the West Bank, and as you heard Ian say that they felt safe outside, they were out. ABC's Tom Sophie Burridge was there to witness that.
They're flying Hamas flags on top of these buses, and there's a real sense of celebration on the streets of the West Bank tonight. Of course, this is just the first exchange. There are 6 weeks of exchanges, hostages for Palestinian prisoners. Hundreds of Palestinian prisoners should be freed from Israeli prisons in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, so there's a large number of Palestinian prisoners who were released early Monday versus the 3 Israeli hostages. But again, as you heard Tom report there, more are expected to come in the coming weeks.
And no complaints. I mean, this was the deal that was signed and agreed to after months of negotiations.
Right.
Sticking points, they were there and then maybe not quite and then whatever. So it is that. Can't remember if he mentioned there, up to 7 Americans still believed to be among the hostages and not in this first group of those released. So that is what's to watch in the coming days of just phase 1 of this ceasefire agreement. 6:44, sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
6 projects in with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. That's a happy customer. My friends Katie and Dan will custom design solutions for your home to help you cut clutter, calm the chaos, and even bring order to your family life. Listen to this from Margot. One of the projects they did in their home was adding a desk space in the kitchen area. Our daughter comes home every day and completes her homework at the desk because she loves it so much. Turned out better than we could even imagine. Now, that's doing more than just making better use of space, which is also important, but this provides workable solutions to life's challenges. Imagine not fighting over homework. Bring order and function to your home and your family life. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
6:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Bucks on the road Wednesday. It will be the first time in a week playing away from Fiserv Forum as Milwaukee put an exclamation point on the homestand.
Giannis going the other way. Going to hand the ball to Lillard. Lillard fires up a 3 leaning back, and he cans it. It's a tough shot. Damian Lillard here in this fourth quarter has gotten himself going.
Big fourth quarter for Dame. 25 points for him on the night. 34 for Giannis as the Bucks beat the depleted 76ers 123-109. The final. The Sixers so banged up they only played 8 guys last night. Bucks head coach Doc Rivers not apologizing for the win.
You know, early in the year we made a lot of that, though. Tonight we win the game, and that's what you have to do. You got to stack up wins when you can, and we're doing that.
So Bucks win all 4 on the homestand. Next play the Pelicans in New Orleans Wednesday.
You know, one of the interesting trendy opinions from Sunday's playoff games that I did not see coming. We had 2 games on Sunday. Philly played the Rams, and then we had the later game, which was Bills and Ravens. People don't like the snow games. Big trend of people complaining about the snow games.
As soon as I turned on the Philly game, I was like, yeah, snow game.
Yeah, but there's complaining that it dumbs the field. Because Stafford had trouble holding the ball and all that stuff. And enough where like there's some complaining that, they should be playing in a neutral field that's strong, that gives them both their, high-powered offense and defense to work well. And just saying, it was something.
Disagree. Something different. Deal with the elements. Cool to see.
Either way, the AFC and NFC title games are set. Eagles will host the Commanders. They hang on to beat the Rams. Ravens and Bills. The Bills win that one. They will head to Kansas City next Sunday. Jalen Hurts, though, the quarterback of the Eagles, was tackled really awkwardly and bent his knee funny. He was asked about it on NBC. Melissa Stark after the game.
How is this going to affect you next week?
Well, I'm sure I'll get asked about it later. I don't know if I can answer it right now, but I'm going to go enjoy this win with my teammates.
Are you okay?
I finished the game.
Yes, you
I finished the game.
All right. It sounds like he's going to be fine. I think they fully expect him to be able to play. We have football tonight. College football, the national championship game, 6:30 start. Ohio State versus Notre Dame, so that'll be a fun one to watch. And then there's this. So the Australian Open is taking place. Tennis, right? Coco Gauff. Apparently, they've been signing like this little plastic thing that's in front of the camera. Like they sign an autograph or they write like hello after they win a match or whatever. Okay. So it's a fun little thing. The camera shows them signing it. Like it looks like they're signing your TV screen kind of. Here is what she signed.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with this one.
Okay. Let's see what she's going with.
USA.
Oh, R.I.P. TikTok USA. She's writing. Oh, she's got to fix it. Oh. Broken heart.
R.I.P. TikTok is what she wrote on the thing. Come on. Anyway.
Badgers women's basketball is on the road tonight. So we got the Cornhuskers in Nebraska, 7 p.m. tip. Badgers sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
EWM falls to Robert Morris. They play again on Wednesday against Wright State.
Coming up next, we'll go live to Washington. A Wisconsinite planning to attend the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. Talk with him next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We get it. You're on the go.
and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Migraine headaches once a month, now virtually gone. With regular care from Connect Chiropractic, Vince Vitrano here. I've got this story from one of my fellow patients at Connect Chiro. I was talking with MJ, and first of all, she'd been struggling with debilitating migraines and now has that under control after working with Dr. Alex Young and his team. Here's the thing. She had tried chiropractic before, and it was helping her, but she did not like the neck cracking. It was a barrier for her. She just couldn't get past like tensing up and resisting, so she stopped going. Stopped getting the care that she knew was helping her. Until she joined Connect Chiropractic, because there they do it different. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. The docs use a special tool. It's pain-free and effective, and it makes all the adjustments. Imagine getting those migraines under control and back to better health. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa, or get started now at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
From the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, Martin Luther King Jr. in his most famous speech, Deb, as we celebrate his life and legacy today.
Yep. All right. Well, as far as the roads are concerned, we've got a pretty light volume around the area. No major incidents. We've got one broken down vehicle on the ramp from 84th Street to 94 westbound. Other than that, everything is looking pretty clear. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Let's get you into the warm-up on Wednesday. Today, a high of 5 degrees. And tonight, air temperature dipping to 10-15 below, with wind chills to 35 below. For Tuesday morning, it's going to be the coldest of this cold blast. High of just 3, wind chills as low as 35 below zero. And then we start the warm-up on Wednesday, scattered snow showers and a high of 23. Right now we're at -4 and the wind chill at 18 below. Coming up on 6:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. About 10:30 our time is when the inaugural festivities and ceremony get underway in Washington.
And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Donald Trump 4 years ago today at his first inaugural address. We'll do it all again.
Later this morning, joining us now live from Washington on Wisconsin's Morning News. You hear him on the WTMJ Political Power Hour with Scafidi on Fridays. It's Republican strategist Bill McCoshen. Good morning, Bill.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Set the scene for us. Is there a buzz in the air? Is there energy? Are there people everywhere? What's it like in Washington, D.C.?
There are people everywhere, and there are cops everywhere. I've never seen so many cops in my whole life.
Right.
So security is high.
Bill,
for sure.
Where are
but
you going to
the
be?
buzz is great.
Where are you going to be today, Bill? Obviously, having moved this thing indoors into the Capitol Rotunda, a number of people who were planning to attend will now be at overflow areas and such. Do you know where you're going to end up?
So probably Capital One Arena. We won't know for another hour or so. And we had VIP tickets for the original inauguration swearing in. So, there are thousands of people that are going to sort of be displaced today, including us. But I think we're going to end up at Capital One Arena, and the president's supposed to come there sometime after the swearing in ceremony.
All right. So then you at least get to see the new commander-in-chief in person in some way.
Well, that's the hope. We'll see.
You know people in the administration, Bill, that are going to be working. Do they get right to work now, or like tomorrow morning? Are they expected in the office at 8 a.m.? How does that work?
Today, they'll get sworn in this morning. Whether it's my son or people that work in the White House or people that work in the agencies that have already been appointed that don't have to go through Senate confirmation. They'll get sworn in this morning and start working this afternoon.
Wow.
Talking with the Wisconsin Republican strategist Bill McCoshen. He is in Washington for the inauguration today. So, Bill, what do you expect to hear in the speech? We know the president has given some hints as to what he's going to focus on. He says unity is one of his messages. America first. Do you expect to hear that? How different do you expect this speech to be from 8 years ago?
I think it'll be very determined. Unity, strength, and fairness are the themes of the speech, and he gave some highlights last night. The president came to Capital One Arena last night. We were at the Wisconsin Ball, so we did not attend, but it was jam-packed, and he was fired up and was very determined on getting things started as soon as he's sworn in and continuing to keep his foot on the gas. I call it the NASCAR start. This is going to be all gas and no brakes. I expect somewhere around 200 executive orders just today alone.
So where are you eating? Like, are there places to go, or do you got to drive to Baltimore to get food?
Well, it was my wife's birthday yesterday, so we were able to go to the Palm on Saturday night for her birthday, which is very nice, in the old school Capitol Steakhouse. And last night we ate close to the event for the Wisconsin Ball, so that part's been pretty good. But getting around in an Uber has been a severe challenge with all the cops and the roadblocks and things like that. So today may be a metro day.
How cold is it? Is it really that cold?
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday were rainy and damp, which made it feel colder than it was. It was probably 25. Today is bone-chilling cold.
You mentioned the Wisconsin Ball. Who else that we'd know is in the house for this and planning to attend some of the things today as well?
And former governors, Tommy Thompson and Scott Walker, are out here. They both spoke last night. The congressional delegation, or GOP congressional delegation, was either at the Sean Duffy event on Saturday or at the Wisconsin Ball last night. So a lot of dignitaries out here celebrating the change of administration, the changing of the guard.
Does anyone from like Michigan float into your ball, or is it no, you stay in your own state, buddy?
Hey, stay on your side of the border.
What? Ours was a Wisconsin only, but I know my son, after he left us last night, went to the Texas Ball. That's supposedly black tie and boots, they call it. That's supposedly quite the deal. So tonight we're going to the Liberty Ball. Probably 18,000 people will be at the convention center.
So how long will the people stick around? I mean, is the airport just going to be crushed tomorrow?
I would imagine. We got a later flight around 3 o'clock, but I hope that some of it is dissipated by then. But there were some people, Eric, that actually left early because of the change of seating for the inauguration. Right. We saw some people leaving on Saturday and some more yesterday, but there's still a lot of people here in town, and it would appear just as many law enforcement officers. So security is very high.
History will be made this afternoon. This doesn't happen very often when you have an inauguration. Bill McCoshen, enjoy the day. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks.
We will no longer accept politicians who are all talk and no action, constantly complaining, but never doing anything about it.
Come on, we're just getting started. Been waiting all day, let's go.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Herb Cole died over a year ago, but his foundation lives on, increasing giving this year to $15 million. Herb Cole Charities doubles down on its commitment to education while boosting other community initiatives. Wausau Sign Company Graphic House acquires Poblocki Sign Company's intellectual property, work in progress, and equipment out of receivership. Graphic House targets a Milwaukee area office by summer. In West Allis, developers prepare to start redevelopment of the former Crawdaddy's site at 64th and Greenfield. $7 million project includes townhomes, apartments, and a cafe. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Oh boy, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Chef is family-owned, understands inflation hurts. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza absolutely free. Any size, any quantity. You buy one, get one free. Buy two, get two free. Buy 10 pizzas, get 10 free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza for your hardworking employees and your key clients. They're going to love it because it's delicious pizza and your second pizza's free, saving your company a ton of money. Bring your family in today for free pizza. Your kids will love that world-class game room. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near EAA and Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. No need to cook. Don't think about cleaning today. Mondays can be tough enough. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Desserts, and I love their desserts, are also buy one, get one free. Just walk in today for your free Monday pizza. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
107,471. Is that A, the number of minutes spent listening to your kids describe their favorite YouTuber's latest video? B, the combined number of calories you consume during football season? Or C, the number of households left without power during one of the last big winter storms? While A and B may be true, the real answer is C. But this winter, that 6-digit number can be reduced by 1 with your brand new whole house Generac generator from Mr. Holland's Home Services. We hardwire your new generator directly into your home's electrical system. Lights stay glowing, Wi-Fi goes on flowing, and your furnace keeps it going. All thanks to your new whole house Generac generator from Mr. Holland's Home Services. Oh, did I mention payments for as low as $99 a month? Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Ready to power through another winter? We can help.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Monday, January 20th. Our top story, bone-chilling cold across southeast Wisconsin.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The stage is set in Washington.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We're rolling along really well so far this morning. Relatively light volume around the area. Just one broken down vehicle on the ramp from 84th Street to 94 westbound. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We get you what's happening right now on our way to a high of 5 degrees under mostly sunny skies, but wind chills dipping to 30 below. Right now, it's 4 below is the air temperature. Wind chills at minus 18. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, more on the historic day ahead in the nation's capital in just a moment. Starting here at home with the weather. Coldest air of the season here. Air temperatures starting off below zero, as I indicated. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says there won't be much improvement through the day.
So where do we go from here for the rest of the day? Well, it stays miserably cold pretty much all day long. Wind chills close to 20 below this morning. We'll get into the teens below zero this afternoon. Similar high temperatures to yesterday, only getting a couple degrees on the positive side of zero later on this afternoon.
Cold weather advisory in effect through noon tomorrow for wind chills of 20 to 30 below. An extreme cold warning will go into effect for areas north and west of Milwaukee midnight tonight, and that goes until noon tomorrow, with wind chills as low as 35 below.
The bitter cold being blamed for a man's death outdoors in Milwaukee. It happened over the weekend. 80-year-old found dead on the sidewalk near 12th and Orchard on the south side early Sunday. An autopsy scheduled for today.
In Washington, the stage is literally set for President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House.
President-elect Trump is preparing to take more than 200 executive actions on his first day back in office.
Trump at a rally in Washington last night.
I will act with historic speed and strength and fix every single crisis facing our country. We have to do it.
Number one on his to-do list, immigration. Trump is expected to declare a national emergency on the U.S.-Mexico border, order troops to build more infrastructure along the border, and relaunch his Remain in Mexico policy for migrants. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Republican strategist Bill McCoshen's in Washington tells Wisconsin's Morning News what he expects to hear from the president-elect during the speech.
I'm going to be very determined. Unity, strength, and fairness are the themes of the speech, and I call it the NASCAR start. This is going to be all gas and no brakes. I expect somewhere around 200 executive orders just today alone.
They moved it inside in the Capitol Rotunda. McCoshen says many of those who had planned to attend the outdoor ceremonies are now going to be in the Capital One Arena because of the cold weather.
In the final hours of his presidency, a string of 11th-hour pardons issued by the outgoing commander-in-chief.
President Biden has issued pardons for Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, the former chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and members and staff of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Throughout his campaign, President-elect Donald Trump vowed to exact retribution on his political enemies. President Biden, in a statement, says of the pardons, quote, "These public servants have served our nation with honor and distinction and do not deserve to be the targets of unjustified and politically motivated prosecutions." Karen Travers, ABC News. The White House.
15 months of fighting has temporarily stopped between Israel and Hamas. A ceasefire deal between the two warring sides taking effect early Sunday morning. Hamas handed over 3 hostages to the Red Cross as part of that deal. In Milwaukee, celebration and cautious optimism.
People from all backgrounds of faiths and traditions held candles and sang Sunday night for a moment of peace 15 months in the making. But a projector with a scrolling list of names of the Palestinian children who have died in that same amount of time served as a reminder for many.
This ceasefire is a break for the people of Gaza, not for the rest of the world.
Milwaukee Muslim Women's Coalition President Janan Najib echoing calls for a permanent peace. At the Islamic Society of Milwaukee Community Center, Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, progress but danger lurking in L.A. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Bucks will hit the road for the first time in a week. We've got sports at 7:15.
Today's not just Inauguration Day, it's also Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Post offices, federal buildings, banks, and many schools will be closed today. Also, no stocks traded today.
Now, they're doing the inauguration indoors, but a rally set to honor Dr. King is still on in Washington. Speaking at a church in South Carolina Sunday, President Biden telling the congregation how Dr. King inspired him to enter public service.
First got involved in public life because of the Civil Rights Movement. I'd attend 7:30 Mass at my church, then I'd go to another morning service at the AME Church in Delaware. The Black Church, the spiritual home of the Black experience.
Reverend Al Sharpton will lead the march from McPherson Square to the Metropolitan AME Church for a noon rally.
Extreme wind going to come back to Southern California today, which has been besieged by deadly wildfires. The peak winds expected tonight and into Tuesday.
Again today, for the third time in less than 2 weeks, a PDS, or particularly dangerous situation red flag, is being declared with the possibility of 100-mile-per-hour winds in some of the mountains and valleys of Southern California. The governor's office is pre-deploying 170 extra fire engines, water tenders, and firefighting aircraft to this region to be ready in case a wildfire breaks out. In some areas, the wind could be nearly on par with the 100-mile-per-hour winds that made the Palisades and Eaton fires explode nearly 2 weeks ago. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
27 dead so far. President-elect Trump expected to visit the region on Friday.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:08.
Chronic joint pain has a snowball effect. It's not just the pain.
What that did is just make me depressed that I couldn't get back into the gym, and I was inactive, gaining weight. I had to find another alternative.
And for Chad, that alternative was QC Kinetics and the non-surgical natural biologic treatments that can give lasting relief to aching hips, shoulders, knees, and backs.
Once they explained it, it made sense. Putting what we have inside our body back into us in a certain strategic way to heal up in a natural process was fantastic.
QC Kinetics treatments take place right in the office. No downtime, no surgery. And as for the outcome,
I'm just back to bouncing around, having fun, doing my work, living pain-free.
Don't let chronic joint pain rob you of your quality of life. Discover advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. Call now to learn more. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
At 7:09, let's get an update on the morning drive. Debbie?
Okay, well, starting to build up a little bit on westbound 94, heading past that disabled vehicle on the ramp from 84th Street to westbound 94. It's off on the side, and we've got, looks like a tow truck's on the scene, and a squad is there as well. So should be out of there pretty soon. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along well. I'm not really seeing any other issues. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly sunny and very cold for today. High temperatures in the single digits, but wind chills 15 to 30 below. We do have a cold weather advisory that continues for today. Tonight, temperatures plummet, lows near 10 below near the lakefront, even colder inland, wind chills close to 30 to 35 below late tonight into Tuesday morning. Tuesday will be another cold day, high temperatures in the single digits, wind chills well below zero. Wednesday will be the day we start to warm up, the chance for some scattered snow showers along a warm front as high temperatures in the afternoon climb into the lower 20s. Mid-20s on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies. Then for Friday, more sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now at 4 below.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
11 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday morning, now just hours away from former President Trump becoming President Trump once again.
The crime and the gangs and the drugs that have stolen too many lives and robbed our country of so much unrealized potential. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
That from Trump's inaugural address 8 years ago today, 2017. More on what's ahead here in a moment. Meanwhile, President Biden is still President Biden for a few more hours.
Happening today.
We mentioned the number of preemptive pardons for a group whom the president says a group of people who do not deserve to be the targets of what he characterizes as potentially unjustified or politically motivated prosecutions.
A final flex of presidential power as President Biden's pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House January 6th committee. All of these people have been heavily criticized by President-elect Trump, who has hinted at revenge against them.
That's ABC's Brian Clark reporting. As for what is ahead, we're seeing now that the president-elect is about to leave Blair House for that church service this morning.
So you have the church service, and then you'll have the inauguration. A lot of people in town for the event. We spoke with Bill McCoshen, who's Republican strategist. His son is actually going to work for the administration. And Bill told us that there's a lot of people that really don't have a place to go because they're moving inside.
There are thousands of people that are going to sort of be displaced today, including us. But I think we're going to end up at Capital One Arena, and the president's supposed to come there sometime after the swearing-in ceremony.
So some folks going into Capital One to watch it from that venue. Others, he said, went home. Said, well, not going to be able to see anything, so we're just going to bounce.
If
So-
I can't be there and see the president with my own eyes or whatever, right? Might as well go home and watch it on TV.
It is hard to believe that this hasn't happened since, 40 years now? It was 84 or 85, the last time there was
Reagan's
an
second,
indoor
right?
inauguration.
It is interesting because, if it's pouring rain or whatever, you can't do that. I've always said for whatever you're doing outside, you can do anything but rain. Right? You can even do cold if you're dressed for it. I guess there was concern. The president-elect's team did mention that there's concern for law enforcement, for the dogs, for everybody who has to be out and working the weather. Although, as we indicated, it's 20 degrees right now in Washington.
Although Bill said it was bone chilling. Although, I don't know, he's not here at the moment.
That's true. So in terms of the timing, things expected for the ceremony to get started about 10:30 our time as the president would take the oath of office just after noon on East Coast time. So that would be just after 11 o'clock this morning. So monitoring all of that. Meanwhile, as we indicated, President-elect Trump about to make his way across town from Blair House to that church service this morning and get his day started. 7:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
7:15 on this Monday morning. Bucks about to do something they haven't done in a week. Play an away game. Pretty good week of basketball here in Milwaukee.
As Ryan Rollins holds on to the ball, fans rise as one as they applaud what has been an unqualified success here on this homestand. The Bucks sweep 4 games in front of the home fans here at Fiserv Forum, and they extend the win streak to 4 with a 123-109 win over the 76ers here tonight.
Yeah, the Bucks now winners of 4 straight here at home. The big star for the Sixers, Joel Embiid. I don't think he's played in a while. He's hurt again and still hurt, among others. The Sixers only played 8 guys on the night. Bucks head coach Doc Rivers almost apologetic for that.
They had so many guys out. It was one of those games I was thinking early on, let's get through the game. They have so many injuries, so many guys out today that, give them credit. I thought they hung in there.
On top of it, they were on a back-to-back were the Sixers. So you should have won that one, and we did. Next up for the Bucks, the Pelicans in New Orleans on Wednesday night.
Hey, how about the NFC North, huh? Oh, jeez.
0 games won in these playoffs.
Nothing.
Best division in football.
Detroit got bounced Saturday night by the Commanders. So now the AFC and the NFC title games are set. Eagles are going to host the Commanders. They hung on to beat the Rams in a snow globe game. That one came down to the wire. That was a good game. As for the Ravens and Bills, so they battled it out for a chance to play the Chiefs in KC. Baltimore with the ball, down 8, a minute to go. So they score the touchdown. Here's the call on CBS when they go for 2.
Roll, flip it, got it. Oh, the ball was dropped. He had the 2-point conversion in his hands. Andrews did not hold on.
This is Tony Romo here, just devastating.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Baltimore.
Can you imagine being a Ravens fan? I felt bad, and I didn't even care who won. It was just like,
I'm with you.
Just, So, yeah, tight end Mark Andrews.
That smacks of, Oh, the Frenchman. Oh, Baltimore.
It's so similar.
Baltimore.
The tight end, Mark Andrews, dropping the ball.
That's caught 999 out of 1,000.
Yep. So the Bills will play the Chiefs in the title game. College football tonight. This is the big winner, the national championship game. Ohio State versus Notre Dame. Two teams that even have some connections.
Notre Dame coach Marcus Freeman played at Ohio State. The two quarterbacks, Will Howard and Riley Leonard, were roommates at a football camp last summer. But there will be no friendship on the field at 7:30 Eastern when the college football playoff national championship game kicks off on ESPN.
It's so interesting. That's ABC's Will Reeve. You don't think about that. A lot of these guys intermingle, whether they've even been on the same team before, and some have transferred. We got the portal. So, there's a lot of people that know each other versus years ago when the only time you ever saw these kids was on the field.
When they lined up on the other side of you, right?
Yeah. So, anyway, that game tonight, 6:30 start on ESPN. Finally, UW Milwaukee for college basketball. They fall to Robert Morris, a game you got to win a game like that. They got down early and couldn't come back. They lose 81-79. It snaps a 12-game home winning streak for the Panthers. Up next for Milwaukee, a trip to Wright State on Wednesday.
Badger women's basketball in Lincoln tonight, taking on the Cornhuskers. That's a 7 p.m. tip for Bucky. Badger Sports Update, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
Baltimore.
We've all heard of Larry Bird. Allow us to introduce Derry Bird.
It's A.J. Green splashing a three down from the right wing on the other end of the court. It's a 1-point game. Giannis back to A.J. A.J. going to try to answer. Off balance three, and he hits it. How did he hit that one? The Derry Bird going deep into his bag of tricks there.
We're the home of Derry Bird and the Bucks. WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. This is the time of year that you're going to feel it. Look at that. Wind chills howling to 30, 35 below. So if you've got drafty old windows and doors, you are going to feel it. Get Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to fix that for you. Make your home nice and cozy. That's where you want to be. Thanks to the gorgeous energy-efficient windows. Keep the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. You celebrate this new year with 0% interest on your financing for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So that's 3 years of 0% interest payments. You get the energy savings, though, right away. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit PellaWI.com. You have until January 31st to score this New Year's special. And I want to tell you about this quickly. Gina Della's got a new show. It's going to be right here on WTMJ. It's called What's the Difference? And they'll be talking about, yes, windows, but also all things business and being a boss in more ways than one. It starts February 1st. You can tune in every Saturday morning at 6:30 or stream anytime on WTMJ.com.
The legendary music of Pink Floyd as you've never heard before. Live in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Featuring conductor Brent Havens and vocalist Randy Jackson. Including a full rock band. Friday, February 7th at the Riverside Theater. Tickets on sale now at BabsTheaterGroup.com.
One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day, probably contributing to the lighter than usual volume on the roads, Debbie.
Yep, and that is the case. We have a light ride right now. Everything's clear as far as any kind of incidents are concerned, so we are in actually really good shape right now. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Today's high 5 degrees, wind chills dipping to 30 below. And it's going to take a minute for us to get to 5. Tonight, mostly clear, very cold. Temperatures in the double digits below zero. Wind chills to 35 below. The coldest of our super cold air is going to be tonight into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, sunny, very cold, high of just 3. Wind chills to 35 below. For Wednesday, we start the warm-up. Scattered snow showers and a high of 23. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s for the remainder of the week. Right now, we're at 4 below with a wind chill of minus 18.
Happy Monday!
It's time to look at the week ahead. Sponsored by Excel Custom Decks.
What a Monday morning.
Yes, the week ahead on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Excel Custom Decks. What's going to be in your timeline? What's going to be in the news feed? What's going to be on TikTok or maybe not on TikTok?
Why don't you just tell me what's going to be in the news?
All of the things. Today is MLK Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
So today, MLK Day, that means no mail, no school for many, no stocks on this day that honors Martin Luther King Jr. Ceremony is going to take place at noon today in the state capitol. Of course, today is also Inauguration Day. President-elect Trump will be sworn in at 11 a.m. Central Time today. So it's going to be inside in the rotunda because it's just too darn cold. Although not as cold as it is here. It's like a high of maybe 22. I mean, that's balmy.
Yeah, right now it's 20 degrees in Washington.
Yeah, it's like 5 below here right now.
I would take it. I'd pay money for that.
Yeah, what gives? So then there's some pomp and pageantry that takes place as well. There's always usually a little parade afterward. They have the galas tonight. He is going to get to some business as well. He's supposed to sign a bunch of executive orders into a place later on today as well. So lots happening in Washington, D.C. So what's he going to say? What do you think? Does he say this?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
Do you think he'll bring that up?
No.
He'll just echo cats. It is doubtful. We will, of course, have coverage throughout the day right here on WTMJ. The College Football National Championship is tonight in New Orleans, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Governor Evers holds his State of the State on Wednesday.
How about that?
Yeah, so here's a question for you. Will the governor, as he has done before, say this during his speech?
Fixing the damn roads and so much more.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed?
Signature line. He's going to be jazzed about various things.
Okay.
We'll fix the damn roads.
We'll
do
see.
the thing.
We should do an over-under on some of those. Turn this into a
like a bingo card of sorts, right?
Samsung hosts the annual Galaxy Unpacked event this week, showcasing the next generation of Galaxy devices following their launch of the S24 smartphones a year ago. So they say there's going to be a lot of AI stuff. Also could be some new smart glasses unveiled. They're going to go after Meta on some glasses. Could be a new Ring, new HR or XR headset, so different things that they're celebrating. Of course, there's always new tech stuff coming out, so that's always kind of neat.
I feel like these glasses just haven't, like everybody's coming out with new ones, they're not catching. The watch worked, maybe the Ring, glasses not so much, I don't know.
Not yet. Give it time. It's got to be lighter and more normal looking.
Right.
And I think they'll get it. They'll get it. Thursday, NASA will observe its annual Day of Remembrance. Every time around this year, remember this. We lost the Challenger and the Columbia just days apart, not in the same year. Of course, the Challenger was in 86. Columbia was about 20 years ago now. It's been a bit. But both of them similar to on the calendar. And then there was also the loss of Gus, right? Didn't we lose
Apollo
the
1 crew was the 27th.
Yeah. So all that going to be later today or later this week. Giant pandas. You're going to be your favorite story on Friday. The pandas going to make their public debut at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. Vince loves the animals.
It's fine. Good for the pandas.
Yeah, so we'll get to see the pandas in action. I'm sure the morning TV shows are going to be all over.
They're already somebody's there already today. NBC's there, I think, right now.
The Academy Award nominations come out on Thursday. This has been delayed. They're going to do it earlier, but because of the wildfires, they wanted to hold off on that. So the Oscars themselves are presented March 2nd. Conan O'Brien is the host this year for that. The Razzies, which are the worst movies of the year, those nominations all come out on Wednesday. So you have a little bit of both there. A little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. At the movies, Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace star in Flight Risk. It's a tense thriller set in a small plane flying over the Alaskan wilderness. So if you like yourself a good Wahlberg movie, he plays a different character in this one, but the movie is Flight Risk. And then, of course, NFL Action, NFC, and AFC title games are Sunday. The winners go to the Super Bowl.
It's a stacked week.
It's the week ahead. Sponsored by Excel Custom Decks. Look ahead to your dream summer by scheduling an appointment today. Call 414-333-1888 or visit excelcustomdecks.com.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed the week at 43,488. That was up 335 points on the day. The NASDAQ at 19,630. That was up nearly 300 points, over 1.5%. And the S&P 500 at 5997. That was up 60 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original knowledge broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, hard to believe we're only weeks away from the new year. A lot of folks come up with resolutions for 2025, fitness, financial, career goals. You have a message for folks today as it relates to goal setting in the new year.
I do, Vince. Thank you. If you're looking for a career change in 2025 and want to find an organization that provides financial security, has a tremendous culture, and surrounds you with all you need to succeed, you should sit down and talk to R&R Insurance. Whether you're experienced in sales or just interested in a sales career, we have growth opportunities for you.
Jeff, we've not talked about careers at R&R before. Tell us a little more.
Vince, we invest heavily in our new sales teams, guaranteeing a base salary while they're building their client base. We know that it takes time to build a sales pipeline, so guaranteeing a base salary provides you with financial security. In addition to training, you get licensed and we provide you with experienced sales management to assist with referrals and sales meetings. Our leadership is committed to your success and has invested heavily in resources to get you there, and there's no ceiling to your earning potential.
Sounds like an opportunity that folks would like a closer look at.
Sure, Vince, and plus, our benefit package is incredibly generous. It includes profit sharing, 401k with matching contributions, and the best part is you have a chance to build a long-term relationship with your clients and become a trusted business advisor to them.
So if this sounds good to someone, how do they learn more?
I'd be happy to connect with them, Vince. They can call R&R Insurance main number 262-574-7000 and just ask for Jeff Salasinski. Or even easier, just ask for Jeff from the radio.
I like that. Once again, the number is 262-574-7000. Call R&R Insurance. Ask for Jeff from the radio. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Washington, D.C. this morning is teeming with red hats.
So why are you here today?
To see President Trump before he gets inaugurated as president. Greatest American comeback in American history.
As the clock ticks down to Donald Trump's second inauguration, President Biden has issued numerous preemptive pardons, including one for Dr. Anthony Fauci and one for former Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley, who called Donald Trump a fascist. Also pardoned members of the House Select Committee on the January 6th Capitol riot. Now, last night, the president-elect promised to release many of those who were convicted of taking part in the riot, telling his supporters,
"Tomorrow, everybody in this very large arena will be very happy with my decision on the J6 hostages."
The swearing in will be held inside the Capitol Rotunda because of the cold weather. This is ABC News.
We're looking at a good ride across the entire system right now. Volume's just starting to pick up a little bit on the Rock Freeway. East and westbound 94, all full freeway speeds and no incidents. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. High of just 5 degrees, and it'll be a minute before we get there. Right now at 4 below. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it's deep freeze set in across southeast Wisconsin. Wind chills dropping to 20 to 30 below for much of the region. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore is on it today. He said right now, temperatures are the coldest so far this winter. Could have been worse.
Thankfully, the lack of snow on the ground is actually really doing us a favor this morning. It could be about 10 degrees colder if we had a snowpack on the ground. It almost acts as a refrigerator and freezer to drop those temperatures even further.
Oh, I'm feeling better than about
nice.
Wind chills at 30 below. Cold weather advisory in effect for today. That goes through noon Tuesday. Wind chills of 20 to 30 below zero. Now, this is important for those folks who are scheduled to have school tomorrow. This will be one to watch. There's an extreme cold warning that goes into effect for areas north and west of Milwaukee. That starts at midnight tonight and goes through noon Tuesday. That would have wind chills as low as 35 below, right around the threshold when some districts have been known to cancel school. So we'll keep an eye on that through the day. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 7:40.
Bitter cold is being blamed for a man's death in Milwaukee. An 80-year-old was found on the sidewalk on the south side near 12th and Orchard early Sunday. An autopsy scheduled for today.
2 people lucky to be alive after a 2-car rollover crash in Kenosha County.
A Dodge Caravan and a pickup truck collided around noon Sunday near 31st Street and County Highway BD in the town of Brighton. Both ended up about 50 feet off the road, with one vehicle tossed onto its side and the other with severe front-end damage. 2 people are in the hospital but are expected to survive. A dog was also injured and taken to the vet for assessment. The cause of the crash remains under investigation this morning. So far, no one has been criminally charged. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
An armed robbery suspect wanted in Fond du Lac. Unknown suspect with a knife robbed our store near Fond du Lac and Oak Saturday night. No one was injured. Suspect took off running with an undisclosed amount of money.
Traffic is sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com.
Outdoor Living
Connect
Unlimited
with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases, insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Time's ticking on Heiser's Drive Into 2025 sales event. The clock is literally running out on remaining 2024 models. We're making room for new rides, which means huge savings just for you. Shop online or race in today and get a new vehicle for way less than expected. With low payments, special financing, and immediate delivery, you'll start 2025 in style without breaking the bank. But hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone. Visit Heiser.com now for all of the details and get ready to roll into the new year with a celebratory deal.
See dealer for complete details.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:36.
Bucks will hit the road coming off a very successful homestand. Sports at 7:45.
All commercial poultry operations within a 6-mile radius in Georgia, Vince, now placed under quarantine. Why? Well, bird flu.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Plants will have to undergo surveillance testing for the next couple of weeks. That announcement from state officials now confirming a positive case of bird flu at this poultry facility in Elbert County in Georgia.
Teams are working to depopulate, clean, and disinfect the facility, the commercial operation where the virus was confirmed. The site is about 2 hours outside of Atlanta and has 45,000 chickens.
ABC's Faith Abube there. Hear what she said? Working to depopulate. Well,
they're killing the chickens.
Right.
Okay.
So is there concern about the bird flu being in these birds?
Officials stress that the virus has not made it into the food supply chain, but there are still urgent concerns. For Georgia, this is the first confirmed bird flu case in a commercial operation during this nationwide outbreak. Several states have already been affected.
So officials in Georgia say poultry will still be sold in supermarkets there during the suspension of these 6 facilities that are within this radius.
Yeah, story to watch in the coming days and weeks will be the prices, right? Prices of eggs, prices of chicken products, and things have to be going up. Eggs I know are already going up. I don't know about anything from your chicken nuggies to strips to chicken breast you buy in the store.
Bless you.
So there's that to watch as well, is they're depopulating tens of thousands of chickens at a time.
And this is coming as like the kids in my house seem to be just like eating the absolute out of eggs right now. Like having like 6 egg omelets. I'm like, hey, can we just make it 3 eggs? That'd be a 6-egger.
This report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
Start the new year off right with a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Discover the advanced pressure-relieving power of a Tempur-Pedic, making aches and pains a thing of the past. Right now, you can get a new Tempur-Pedic mattress for just $52 per month when you use Steinhoffels' 60-month financing. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Steinhoffels, your mattress destination. Shop in-store or online.
Stop in and load up on great everyday essentials at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale, January 16th through the 29th. 40-pound bags of Morton Water Softener Salt are just $5.99. Superior Hardwood Fuel Pellets are on sale for $5.49 a bag. And don't forget your backyard friends. 40-pound bags of Black Oil Sunflower Seed are just $14.99. Be sure to stock up on all your everyday favorites, all at the best prices, guaranteed, at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Erik Bilstad. As we ring in 2025, are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? It's time to make a resolution, to get moving again. No more achy joints for your knees, your hips, shoulders, or your back. You're going to call QC Kinetics in 2025, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Got locations in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions. So many of your neighbors here in Milwaukee are living life again without the constant pain in their joints. Here's what you do. Resolve to get lasting relief in 2025. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today. Happy New Year.
7:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Watching this live feed from CNN, Deb, as the president-elect is set to make his procession to his church service this morning. There's a Secret Service agent outside the car, and he is really cold.
Oh,
He's got no coat.
Why does he have no coat?
Because Erik and I figured he knew he was going to be on TV today.
Gotta look good.
Yep.
You can wear one of those long coats that look really, snazzy. And
he is grimacing.
Honestly. And the point of that would be...
there.
Honestly. Anywho, the rest of the system, all of the system actually, is looking really good. Not seeing any incidents out there, and I'm not seeing really any delays either, so all is well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly sunny and very cold for today. High temperatures in the single digits, but wind chills 15 to 30 below. We do have a cold weather advisory that continues for today. Tonight, temperatures plummet, lows near 10 below near the lakefront, even colder inland, wind chills close to 30 to 35 below late tonight into Tuesday morning. Tuesday will be another cold day, high temperatures in the single digits, wind chills well below zero. Wednesday will be the day we start to warm up, the chance for some scattered snow showers along a warm front as high temperatures in the afternoon climb into the lower 20s. Mid-20s on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies. Then for Friday, more sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, wind chills 18 below, air temperature -4.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
On this Martin Luther King Jr. Day across America, MLK's most celebrated speech, the I Have a Dream speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. We are just hours in, but the ceasefire in the Middle East is on, it is holding, and prisoners and hostages are being exchanged in Israel while humanitarian aid pours into war-ravaged Gaza. Crowds in the streets in Gaza as Palestinian detainees released as part of this deal returned. It was 90 prisoners. ABC's Jordana Miller is in Jerusalem this morning.
Across the Gaza Strip, we've seen really scenes of celebration, not just by Hamas, who's claiming victory since they have not been completely, wiped out, but also tens of thousands of Gazans dancing and celebrating. Remember, for those people, this is the first day in more than 15 months where they can go outside and they don't have to worry about being killed.
The first day of the first phase of the ceasefire called for the release of 3 Israeli hostages. And if you want to talk about a first day, imagine what started all of this back on October 7th. A loved one of yours was plucked from his or her home, and for the last year and a half has been held hostage. Imagine the embrace that some families are enjoying as those hostages are returned.
One is a dual Israeli-British citizen, Emily Damari. One is a woman named Romy Gonen. Her mother has been very vocal and on, in the fight for her daughter's release. And the third is Daron Steinbecher, who's a mother.
It's ABC's Jordana Miller in Jerusalem. Nearly 100 more hostages still believed to be held by Hamas, perhaps 7 Americans among them. 7:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks on the road Wednesday will be the first time in a week playing away from Fiserv Forum. Milwaukee put an exclamation point on the homestand.
Giannis going the other way. Going to hand the ball to Lillard. Lillard fires up a 3 leaning back, and he cans it. It's a tough shot. Damian Lillard here in this fourth quarter has gotten himself going.
25 points for Dame, who had a heck of a fourth quarter. Basically sealed the victory for the Bucks. 34 points for Giannis. Bucks beat the depleted Sixers. 123-109 the final. Sixers are so banged up they only played 8 guys last night. Bucks head coach Doc Rivers not apologizing for winning, though.
Early in the year we made a offset, though. Tonight we win the game, and that's what you have to do. You got to stack up wins when you can, and we're doing that.
And we did. Bucks next play the Pelicans in New Orleans. That's Wednesday night.
AFC and NFC title games are now set. The Ravens fall to the Bills. They had a shot at it at the end, but lose to Buffalo, so that means the Bills will play Kansas City. And the Eagles will host the Commanders after hanging on to beat the Rams on Sunday. Is Jalen Hurts okay, though? The Eagles quarterback was tackled awkwardly and bent his knee backwards. He was asked on NBC, Melissa Stark, after the game.
How is this going to affect you next week?
I'm sure I'll get asked about it later. I don't know if I can answer it right now, but I'm going to go enjoy this win with my teammates.
Are you okay?
I finished the game.
Yes, you
I finished the game.
Okay, so what does that mean? Sounds like he's going to be fine, or at least that's what he said later. He's like, look, I'll be okay. College football tonight, the national championship game. So this is the culmination of our playoff system. The first time they did it, got a pretty good game tonight. You would hope Ohio State.
Not a bad matchup, right?
Notre Dame and Ohio State go at it tonight, 6:30 on ESPN.
Everybody's picking Ohio State, right?
You're right. Yeah, it seems like that. College basketball, UW-Milwaukee falls to Robert Morris, 81-79. They play Wright State on Wednesday. And then there's this, Coco Gauff. So during the Australian Open, I think they're letting all the tennis players sign like the camera. So basically they get like a special dry erase marker and they can sign the lens of the camera. It's kind of a neat moment, blah, blah, blah. So what did she sign?
Okay, I think I'm going to go with this one.
Okay. Let's see what she's going with.
USA.
Oh, R.I.P. TikTok USA. She's writing this.
That's what she wrote on the thing. So,
what is Coco, 18?
Yeah,
it's about
tiny.
right.
Yep,
yeah.
She's young. You're right.
And a whole lot more.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. And Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up, you only have until January 31st, so visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions do apply.
Hey, business owners, are you looking to sell your business? I'm sure you have plenty of questions. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me for our latest Annex Wealth Management webinar. I'll be joined by Brandon Lehman and Brian Lamborn from Annex Wealth Management as we answer your questions. Who should you consult? And of course, when is the best time for you to sell your business? Sign up for this free webinar on Wednesday, January 29th. Text WEB to 855-616-1620 to sign up for the free webinar. Only here on WTMJ.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
10 minutes before 8 o'clock. What do you see on the roads, Deb?
Not much. It's a pretty quiet ride. Southbound 43, right about at Brown Deer Road, we've got a broken down vehicle, but it's off on the right shoulder. So you shouldn't be seeing too many problems with that. Other than that, no other delays. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Sunny and very cold on this MLK day. A high of 5, wind chills of 30 below. Tonight, clear, very cold, a low of 15 below zero, and wind chills of minus 35. Same thing for tomorrow. Sunny, very cold, 35 below zero wind chills. And things warm up to a balmy high of 23 on Wednesday. Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition.
Idea Man.
Jordan Love is the guy. First off, even if you don't want him to be the guy, he is the guy.
That's true. Innovator.
That does not mean Jordan Love doesn't need to get a lot better. He needs to be a lot more consistent.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
I just think Jordan Love is a good quarterback that is going through the process of trying to become great.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Kohler Services, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tausch, you okay? Don't worry, TikTok's back on.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I lost a lot of sleep over that.
You don't have a TikTok.
Yeah,
You're on the Twitter. You're on. I assume you're on the Facebook. Is that it for
I
you?
am not on the Facebook. No, I'm a Twitter guy, and I've tried to do some of those Instagram Reels. I haven't quite figured that out. I like Twitter X. That's about where I'm at. But this whole TikTok thing, it's hilarious to listen to people kind of go through it. And then like one of my kids' buddies was talking about how this will be really good for them because now they won't spend 10 to 12 hours a day doing TikTok. But I have a hunch. Right. I'm not sure how much I believe those kids when they say that.
Which also, I've reminded my kids, you could also just choose to do that.
Yes.
Put the damn thing down.
But you know what? Hey, I think we can all sit here and we all have our vices and things that we do, and you could see studies that are done, and people will say, well, you could choose to not eat like this or to do this, and the same thing can get swung back on you. So, for as much as I completely agree, we all probably could take that advice.
Hey, Tausch, what's your take on the winter games, the snowy games? Because there was some complaining on Sunday that, man, it's not the best of the best when they're playing with conditions that make it hard to grip the football or slippery, et cetera, et cetera.
I think you're going to know my take on this, and I think most of us that grow up in colder weather and elements, I saw that too, and I know obviously yesterday's games there was snow falling and the visuals, and my favorite game I ever played in was the Seattle Snow Globe playoff game up at Lambeau where we fell behind, and I think everybody in that stadium, you could go through. You play 8 or 9 home games a year now. You could go through that. For me, it was 11 years. Fans, 30, 40 years. And I would bet the Ice Bowl and that Snow Globe game from a memorable standpoint, and it's because of the elements that the fans were in, that the players were in, and you have to kind of overcome some things. Yes, is it if you're a purist of just having the cleanest, most efficient game, the snow's not going to be for you. But when it comes to all of the things that the game of football is about, I don't think there's a better element game that you could possibly have. And when you looked at both those games yesterday, the ball making mistakes and who can overcome them and who doesn't make them, that's how you win. And you saw that with Buffalo last night. You saw that with Philadelphia in the game before. It's part of that whole process, and then it's really fun to see and watch on TV. So I think everybody, as we're seeing more and more teams build, these huge stadiums with roofs, and Chicago might do it, and then everybody in the North will have it if that's the case. It's going to be more and more precious to have this because I do think it's the best way to judge how you approach things from a football standpoint.
100% agree, Tausch. I was at that game against Seattle, and if I had to pick a sporting event that was like the most memorable because it was so awesome, I think of all the stuff I've been to, and I was there as a fan, not as a reporter, but just I think I would pick that one.
But let me throw this at you. Say the Packers make a run and they're in the Super Bowl, and it's like in Jacksonville or whatever, and it's just one of those windy, awful days that happens in Florida occasionally, and it's raining during the Super Bowl. And Nixon fumbles 3 times.
Yeah.
And
no, I see where you're going.
Would you be frustrated? Like, no, this is not fair. This is not the team at its best.
Whoa. Yeah, that sucks. But would the Chiefs, who, of course, will be in the Super Bowl as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing, would you also say that it's unfair for them? Because if their kick returner holds on to the football, isn't that kind of how this all goes? So, yeah, I mean – and in the same respect, if you want to go down that avenue, you could say, well, and Vinny, I don't know if you went to the NFC Championship game where it was 30 below. There is the case where is it enjoyable for fans to be in the stands? And had we won, I think we'd probably have those same positive memories like the New York Giants with the red-faced Coughlin and all of the other stuff. So it really comes down to winners write history. And if you really enjoy and you win in those elements, you love it. When you don't, you say, oh, the ball was slippery. Oh, well, this isn't fair. Oh, the rain got us to – no, that's the beauty of it. Both teams have to do it. Yes, there may be an advantage to the other, but that typically is what you played the regular season to earn. And I don't think Buffalo doesn't beat Baltimore if they're not in Buffalo. And I don't think Philly – beats the Rams if they don't have home field and have the better regular season. So all of that stuff goes hand in hand, and that's why I really hope we continue to keep some of that element to the game of football.
Plus, difference between like windy game and cold game versus snow game. Snow at least has a visual appeal and it's fun. When it's 10 below zero, There ain't no fun in that.
There's
even
no
watching.
fun for anybody.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't
just
matter
sucks.
if you live in it. That was always the thing. Oh, you live in it. Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean you want to stand out there for 3.5 hours and get pelted and have frostbite everywhere. So fair points by all. But, again, it does come down to who can make those adjustments when there is wind. And it always comes back to whoever the more physical team usually is, or better up front. That's typically who wins regardless, again, unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs.
Talk again tomorrow. Thanks, Tosh.
Unless you're the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're going to win again, right?
Well, I don't know. They throw a lot of flags on anyone who looks at Mahomes the wrong way.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Herb Cole died over a year ago, but his foundation lives on, increasing giving this year to $15 million. Herb Cole Charities doubles down on its commitment to education while boosting other community initiatives. Wausau Sign Company Graphic House acquires Pawlowski Sign Company's intellectual property, work in progress, and equipment out of receivership. Graphic House targets a Milwaukee area office by summer. In West Allis, developers prepare to start redevelopment of the former Crawdaddy's site at 64th and Greenfield. $7 million project includes townhomes, apartments, and a cafe. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Should I delay my Social Security benefits, or should I start taking them right away? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your decision can impact your income for the rest of your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help you create a strategy to maximize your benefits so you can make the most of what you've earned. Social Security is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap. Take the first step today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and get a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Don't leave money on the table. Text SS to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, January 20th, our top story. Inauguration ceremonies underway in D.C.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A quick about face for TikTok.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking great out on the roads. We've got one broken down vehicle northbound 41 just past Silver Spring on the right shoulder, and then we've got one on 43 heading southbound right about at Brown Deer Road, again off on the right shoulder. Other than that, looking great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, a high of just 5 degrees and bitter cold wind chills dipping to 30 below. Mostly clear, very cold overnight. Double digits below zero for the air temperature. Right now, we're at 2 below. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, stage is literally set for President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House. His speech Supposed to be delivered on a platform outside. The event moved inside now due to the cold weather in Washington. First time that's happened in 40 years. The president-elect planning to take executive action immediately upon becoming president.
President-elect Donald Trump told ABC this weekend a big focus of his executive actions will be immigration. Advisors to Trump say he's preparing to take more than 200 executive actions today. Top aide Stephen Miller told Republican lawmakers the president will declare a national emergency related to the U.S.-Mexico border and designate Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Republican strategist Bill McCoshen is in Washington, and he tells Wisconsin's Morning News the crowds who've attended the inauguration outdoors have been moved elsewhere because of the weather.
There are thousands of people that are going to sort of be displaced today, including us, but I think we're going to end up at Capital One Arena, and the president's supposed to come there sometime after the swearing-in ceremony.
The inauguration today is the first to be held indoors since a similarly cold air moved into President Reagan's second inauguration in 1985.
Republican strategist Bill McCoshen is in Washington, and we will hear from Congressman Brian Stile, Republican of Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District. We'll speak live with him in Washington coming up at 8:10. Meanwhile, after a short shutdown over the weekend, TikTok is back up and running. Many U.S. smartphones this morning. The Chinese-owned app briefly went dark Saturday ahead of a U.S. deadline banning it from the country unless it would be sold to a non-Chinese company. That hadn't happened yet, but the law permits the president to grant a 90-day extension, with President-elect Trump promising to issue one.
Who in this audience goes with TikTok? Many? Yeah, very popular. And frankly, we have no choice. We have to save it. A lot of jobs. We don't want to give our business to China. We don't want to give our business to other people.
Trump has suggested a perhaps 50% ownership stake by a U.S. company. 170 million Americans are on TikTok.
The brief TikTok ban's being blamed for a suspected arson fire at an office belonging to Congressman Glenn Grothman in Fond du Lac. The TikTok CEO, by the way, is expected to be in attendance at today's inauguration.
The Gaza ceasefire is holding as day 2 dawns, bringing tremendous relief to both Gazans and Israelis.
Hundreds of Hamas members crowded around the Red Cross jeeps as Israeli hostages Emily Damari, Daron Steinbrecher, and Romy Gonen were handed over to the Red Cross. Less than 30 minutes later, the 3 young Israeli women in Israeli hands, ending a traumatic 471 days in Hamas captivity. Emotional reunions with parents and siblings followed, lots of tears and long, long hugs. Scenes that brought joy and relief to the whole country. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
In Milwaukee, faith communities rejoicing.
The Wisconsin Coalition for Justice in Palestine gathered Sunday night to celebrate the ceasefire, but also to honor lives lost and those still suffering.
It's not uncommon for me to know people who've lost 20, 50, 100 relatives.
Rachel Ida Buff with the Academic Advisory Council of Jewish Voice for Peace tells WTMJ she spent a lot of time with the Milwaukee Palestinian community.
We are relatives. We are all relatives. Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Palestinian, American, foreign-born, native-born, and I think that this is a space for that.
At the Islamic Society of Milwaukee Community Center, Jessica Gatzo, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a slow holiday weekend at the box office. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With colder weather in the forecast and no festivals to attend, our showroom is a year-round festival the whole family will enjoy. Read our reviews. Our store has it all, including the finest lighting and ceiling fans available, such as Visual Comfort, Hubbardton, Tech, and hundreds more at unbeatable prices. I guarantee it. If it's repairs or lampshades you need, we have all that too. There's also unique sports and historical items, neon lights, slot machines, and much more for sale. You'll find fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
1 day down, 2 more to go. Arctic air spilling into southeast Wisconsin. We got wind chills in the double digits below zero. And a steady breeze out of the northwest. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Morris. The worst of the cold actually comes tomorrow morning, when an extreme cold advisory takes effect for some portions of the listening area.
That is north and west of Milwaukee. Most of the counties, including Jefferson, Dodge, Washington, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, and Fond du Lac. That will go into effect at midnight and continue until noon Tuesday for wind chills as low as 35 below, mainly north and west of Milwaukee.
Today, it's a cold weather advisory for all of southeast Wisconsin through noon Tuesday. Wind chills 20 to 30 below zero.
In Southern California, more red flag fire warnings. There's a chance of 100-mile-per-hour winds again through Tuesday, which would rival the winds that caused the 2 deadly fires to break out earlier this month. ABC's Alex Stone in L.A. County.
This wind event is beginning to look more and more severe, with peak winds hitting tonight into Tuesday and possibly close to the 100-mile-per-hour incredible winds we dealt with close to 2 weeks ago that made the Palisades and Eaton fires explode. Southern California Edison is warning power will be shut off in some areas to prevent wildfires. 170 extra fire engines, water tenders, and firefighting aircraft are being pre-deployed by the governor's office.
Death tolls now at 27. The president-elect Donald Trump expected to be in the region on Friday.
Keke Palmer's new comedy topping the box office on a slow Martin Luther King Jr. weekend.
A big start for Sony's R-rated comedy, One of Them Days.
We don't get the rent money by 6, we're going to be on a curve with Fabian.
Making rent with an $11.6 million debut, narrowly beating Disney's Mufasa the Lion King, which earned $11.5 million in its 5th weekend. Blumhouse's horror Wolfman took 3rd place with $10.6 million, while Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Den of Thieves 2 rounded out the top 5. The overall box office total among the weakest for the MLK holiday in decades. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Sounding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09. Coming up next, we'll go live to Washington, D.C. as we are just hours away from the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. We'll talk live with Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile next.
Save big money now at Menards. Stand up to life's messes with our great selection of durable and waterproof flooring. Great Lakes vinyl plank flooring is easy to install and is durable, pet-friendly, and waterproof. Plus, it has sound-reducing attached pad for added comfort. Update your spaces with Great Lakes Legends vinyl plank flooring through January 26th for just $2.99 per square foot. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Start the new year right with a new style from Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. Check out, did you see what I just did there? I had a couple of things that I needed to read to you, and I grabbed my new Shopko Optical glasses, which allow me to see so much better. You can check out the new frames and order your annual supply of contact lenses if that's the way you go. And here's the cool part. It's all in one place. Shopko Optical, committed to quality eye care. They create personalized vision solutions. They're tailored to your specific vision and your lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. You call Shopko Optical or visit them online. Visit shopko.com. You can schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
James Imaging Systems, local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything, so I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizan, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
8:11. What's happening on the roads on this holiday, Deb?
Not much.
Right?
Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. We're really light volume around the area. I'm not seeing really any delays. A couple of broken down vehicles here and there. One westbound 94 at the county line. Another one down near the Milwaukee Racine county line. It's off on the shoulder, though, so it's really not even affecting anything. So we're looking good. Can't complain. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of just 5 degrees today. Wind chills dipping to 30 below. It gets even colder overnight. So overnight air temperatures 10 to 15 below zero. And early Tuesday morning, some of those wind chills could be dipping to 35 below. Right now, we're at 3 below in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
On this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, again, a number of things would be closed that normally would be open. No markets today. Banks and municipal services probably will not be happening where you live. And some folks off of school today as well. Continue to revisit some of those famous moments, the inspiring words of Dr. King from all those years ago in his I Have a Dream speech through the morning. Meanwhile, happening right now in Washington, D.C., President-elect Trump, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance at church service. They are at St. John's in Washington and will later be making their way to the White House. The traditional tea is on between the sitting president and first lady and the president-elect.
What do you think they'll talk about?
Incoming first lady. How long do we have to do this? Can we get this over with?
Have you taken the pictures yet?
As quickly as possible. We'll shake hands and whatnot. The inauguration, in terms of the ceremony, expected to get underway about 10:30 our time. Joining us live from Washington is the representative from Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District, Republican Brian Stile. Morning, Congressman.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So great to talk to you. Are you able to avoid going outside in some way today? Can you take the train from your office over to the Capitol and be there for that? And I suppose, is every member of Congress even in the Capitol Rotunda for today?
I'll be honest, being from Wisconsin like we are, a 20-degree day with sun is actually a pretty pleasant day for
feeling
those
great.
of us from Wisconsin.
That's the problem.
If in Washington, D.C., 20 degrees is like the absolute most cold they've ever seen. Is the polar vortex of our nation's capital. And so to me, it's disappointing we're not outside. But the good news is we will still have a swearing in. I'll be in the Rotunda as President Trump is sworn in at noon Eastern, 11 Central today. And a real opportunity, I think, to get our country back on track.
What's the buzz like? Is there a lot of energy? Are there people everywhere? Is it hard to find a place to eat?
You know, it's a lot different than you would expect after they canceled the mall viewing of the swearing in. And so I think a lot of people made a choice to maybe not drive in as they would have. And so actually the city has a lot fewer people than you'd expect. It's a little bit like the RNC convention in Milwaukee where, you know, the area around the RNC is buzzing, but other people chose to maybe not come into the city that would have. And so, but the overall excitement of those of us who are involved in government, I think is significant because I think people are looking to really turn a corner. And I think you're going to see some executive actions today by President Trump, specifically as it relates to securing the U.S.-Mexico border. And those of us who've worked on that, who've campaigned on that, are really excited that we're going to be able to turn a corner in our nation's capital today.
Talking with Congressman Brian Stile from Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District. Congressman, you were elected and came into office during the midterm of Trump's first period as president. What do you see will be the difference in a relationship between Congress and this president this time around? How will the House, how will the Senate work with him?
I think what you're going to see is really unified Republican governance. And what I mean by that is all of us working together to drive forward a unified policy approach. There's going to be tactical differences. We have some goofballs in our conference as well. But at the end of the day, I think what we need to do is make sure that we're focused on achieving the broader goals. And I put those in two key buckets amongst a number of issues. But the two that sit at the top is to secure the U.S.-Mexico border. I think you're going to see aggressive action taken in that regard and a message to the globe that the U.S.-Mexico border is no longer wide open, and we're going to see substantive change. And the other is economically the need to get our country back on track, to bring costs down, to make life more affordable for families, to help people get good and better jobs. And so I think we have a huge opportunity in front of us And hopefully we maintain this unified approach and we can deliver on the agenda that we have been given by the American people.
Congressman, can you predict what's going to happen with TikTok?
Here's what TikTok should do. They should separate themselves from their ownership structure, which is a company called ByteDance, which has a direct tie to the Communist Party of China. TikTok at any time could sell and separate themselves from their parent. The fact that they haven't tells you a lot about what's going on. I don't have TikTok on my phone, and I don't think others should, but I know many people do. Your data is going all the way back up, we believe, to ByteDance, which is accessed by the Communist Party of China. So they have visibility into your data, into what you're doing in the United States. Two things should concern you. One, the Communist Party of China does not allow the U.S. version of TikTok to exist in their own country. That tells you a whole lot about how TikTok is operating. And the fact that they won't divest of it, meaning sell it for billions of dollars to separate this national security concern, they would rather have your data than have the money of selling the company. At the end of the day, TikTok itself, the app, is not the concern. The concern is the ownership structure, and what we need to do is force the sale of that to separate TikTok, the app, from the parent company and the data collection that's occurring by the Communist Party of China.
Talking with Congressman Brian Stile from Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District. How do you feel, Congressman, about the president-elect basically clearing way for this? We're not going to enforce the ban so that we can continue to negotiate. I actually agree, because I do think there's a resolution to be had there. That said, you guys passed a law, and it's Republicans and Democrats both sort of saying, well, we'll just look the other way here for a while. I mean, what sort of precedent does that set if we can just decide, now we're just going to not enforce that?
Well, there's a lot of conversations ongoing in real time, and my hope is that President Trump is able to force the divestiture and the sale between the Communist Party parent and TikTok, the app. And so hopefully at the end of the day, that's where we get. But there is real substantive security concerns, which is why Congress, in an overwhelming voted to force the separation on national security concerns. The Supreme Court has agreed. And I think what you'll see is that divestiture and that forced sale in the not-too-distant future.
So what's on your itinerary today? You'll be there, you said, in the rotunda for the swearing in. And then what? Are you going to any of the galas? You got big lunch plans? What's going on today?
Yeah, I'm sitting in my office about more or less across the street from the United States Capitol. I'll be walking over as soon as we're done on our call today to the House chamber, and then we'll be heading into the rotunda. After President Trump is sworn into the rotunda, he's going to go to what they call Emancipation Hall. It's a building kind of just off of the Capitol, kind of in the basement, if you will, which is the Capitol Visitor Center. So anybody that's come to our nation's capital, this is where most people would enter the Capitol for their tour. And he's going to speak to a group of folks who will be gathered there. And I think he's going to sign a series of executive orders, in particular related to security of the U.S.-Mexico border. Later tonight, there's some balls and festivities. But I'll tell you, what I'm really looking forward to is getting to work. We have been given an opportunity, which does not occur often in American politics, with Republican unified control. And we have a huge opportunity to really deliver on the agenda. And so today's the day of celebration. I'm excited. President Trump is going to be sworn in, but I'm really excited for his actually getting to work and delivering on the agenda for the American people.
Congressman, enjoy the day. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
From Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District, Republican Brian Stile of Wisconsin. So he's going to be there.
So the festivities begin, around 10:30 our time. The actual swearing in is 11 o'clock Central.
New traffic sound there, Deb.
Okay. Right now, got a good ride shaping up right now. Super quiet. No major delays around the area. Also, no incidents really to report. So everything is rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
If you like your door and you like your opener, you're going to want to take care of it. Vince Vitrano here for Lifetime Door Company. If you're happy with the garage door you got and the garage door opener, they call it the motor in the business, consider Lifetime Door Company for service. Just talking to my man Rick Burr at Lifetime Door out of Brookfield. Now, he says they'll do emergency service 7 days a week, and actually this is the time when you see things freezing up on you or quitting on you due to the cold. Here's the thing. You can work to prevent that from happening with regular service from Lifetime Door Company. Rick would like to get into your garage at least twice a year, but he recognizes a lot of folks don't do that, so he said, hey, once a year is better than nothing. They'll keep that door going up and down, preventing the inconvenience and the expense of a need-to-fix-it-now situation. And you tell them Vinny sent you, Lifetime Door Company will knock 5% off the cost of any service. Get started online now at lifetimedoor.net.
Special Milwaukee Auto Show Advanced Discount Ticket Offer has been extended to January 22nd. Turns out a lot of people want to come to the auto show. Get your auto show tickets now at a big discount. Buy a single ticket, or how about a pair of tickets for date night? Or you can buy a family 4-pack and take everybody. They can see all the latest vehicles, including cars, trucks, SUVs, luxury cars, and much more. For advanced discount tickets, go to autoshowmilwaukee.com. That's autoshowmilwaukee.com.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
As winter takes a deep freeze, it's not too late for you to get hot, hot, hot. Fox World Travel has your ticket to paradise with deals you won't find anywhere else. Save on last-minute all-inclusive vacations with Apple Vacations or get up to 67% off public cruise rates with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises. Is Europe on your mind? Ask about Fox Group Vacations. Book now and save only at Fox World Travel. Book online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code RADIO.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
8:25 on Wisconsin's Morning News. On this Inauguration Day, President-elect Trump has concluded his attendance at the church service at St. John's in Washington, made his way back into the vehicle, but the motorcade has yet to leave for the White House.
So up next is the tea, right? The sit-down tea with President Biden and the First Lady. We know the Vice President, she is there as well with her husband. She has arrived and did the hello to the Bidens. They're on the front steps of the White House. Now we're going to see.
Are they in the tea as well?
I would imagine so.
Do they have a separate tea?
They're at like a kids'
Vice
table.
President-elect and the sitting Vice President, and right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like an adjacent table.
Is it in the same room?
It'd be better if it were in a different room entirely than in the same room but a different table, like off to the side.
One thing we have also noticed is that the Secret Service always has just one poor guy who's sitting without gloves outside of the tank of a beast of a limo that clearly is impenetrable.
No coat, no gloves.
All right, John, you got to stand there.
All right. Why do I have to stand outside? Really?
I am freezing right now. Although Congressman Brian Stile did say that he didn't think it was that bad. He said that, with the sun shining and all that, it didn't seem like it was.
Well, again, there's Wisconsin guy.
Yeah.
He said this is super cold for Washington, which is why you see things moved indoors in terms of the ceremony, which It starts at 10:30 in earnest our time, with the president taking the oath of office just after noon Eastern time, so just after 11 o'clock our time this morning.
Did you see who was inside the church for the service? Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos, all sitting next to each other.
Wow.
All
Zuck
the
of
tech
Meta,
guys.
Cook of Apple, Bezos of Amazon.
And also the TikTok CEO is supposed to be in attendance at the inauguration as well, wearing a ByteDance shirt.
No. He'll probably have a regular old suit on like
He'll
everybody
have his
else.
camera out. He'll be like taping everything in selfie style and all
He'll
that.
be doing TikToks while he's like, not during the ceremony. Oh, no, I got to get this posted.
Yeah, maybe.
We
What
will talk a
music
little
should I
bit.
use?
We'll talk a little bit more about TikTok's extraordinary 16 hours or so where it was slipping away, fading away, and then came back. Oh, then went away totally and then came back. So do that a little bit later this hour. Meanwhile, again, still waiting for the motorcade with the president-elect and vice president-elect as well to make its way to the White House, where next up for everyone is the tea with still the sitting president. And we should also mention President Biden issued a number of pardons as well this morning. We'll fill you in on that with ABC News bottom of the hour update coming up. Vince Vitrano here talking with Dr. Alex Young from Connect Chiropractic. And Dr. Alex, your practice is growing. So excited about that. You brought one of the new docs, Dr. Austin, to say hello.
Yeah, we actually have 6 board-certified chiropractors on our team now, and Dr. Austin is here today with us.
Hello.
Austin, you have worked on me already, and I think what's so great about your story is you experienced and sought out chiropractic care as a young person.
I did, yes. So I'm a pretty tall guy, and I grew 6 inches in just one summer. So I had a lot of growing pain throughout my body, and I tried over-the-counter medicine, saw the doctor, and they just told me it was really normal, part of what was growing up. So went to see my local chiropractor, and that was one of the true things that helped actually get me through that time in life. So made a big difference.
Dr. Austin, one of the new docs at Connect Chiropractic. I love also that what drew you to become a chiropractor was some trauma that your mother experienced, and you remember that, and you remember how chiropractic care helped her.
Yes, yeah. She had pretty severe fall helping someone around the house. It ended up leading to her shattering her left wrist, and a lot of different chronic issues developed afterwards that she didn't necessarily have before. And the only thing that really helped her was chiropractic care and just showing how the body was able to really heal itself from the inside out. So it's pretty amazing.
Dr. Alex, these are familiar stories to me. So many of the docs that you work with at Connect Chiropractic have these stories about how chiropractic care was important to them.
Absolutely. Everyone on our team has multiple stories, whether it's them or their family members, but the central theme to all of them is that they recognize that the body is not going to heal by putting things into it. No pill, lotion, potion is going to take care of it. Your body has to heal from the inside out. Your body is meant to heal itself.
And as always, no twisting, no cracking, no popping. That's Connect Chiropractic in Delafield and Wauwatosa. Go Connect Chiro. That's goconnectchiro.com. 8:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, January 20th, our top story, Inauguration Day in D.C.
I'm Erik Bilstad, miserably cold.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Everything's looking really good. Super quiet around the area. Volume is pretty light and no incidents really during the report. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
To Eric's point of the miserable cold, best we can do is 5 degrees for the high temperature today with wind chills in the double digits below zero.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. President-elect Trump and Melania Trump departing St. John's Church in Washington headed to the White House for tea with the president and first lady. Earlier this morning, President Biden issued preemptive pardons for the January 6th committee and for General Mark Milley, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who referred to Donald Trump as a fascist before the election. Also pardoned the man who helped lead the country through COVID. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
Dr. Anthony Fauci tells ABC he accepts the pardon from President Biden and is grateful for it. But he emphasized that he committed no crimes. Fauci did say to ABC the threats and possibility of prosecution, quote, creates immeasurable and intolerable distress on me and my family. Throughout his campaign, President-elect Donald Trump vowed to exact retribution on his political enemies. Fauci faced intense scrutiny and vitriol for the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Karen Travers, ABC News. News, the White House.
This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Inauguration Day ceremonies underway in the nation's capital ahead of this morning's indoor swearing-in ceremony for President-elect Trump. The incoming and outgoing first families are meeting as we speak for a cordial coffee or tea, 1265 Pennsylvania Avenue.
The President and First Lady will greet the new President and First Lady for a traditional tea and coffee reception at the White House. After the brief sit-down, both will motorcade to the Capitol for the inauguration. And while they are there, a fine-tuned, choreographed moving process will begin. In a matter of just a few short hours, a few dozen members of the White House staff will move out the belongings of the outgoing First Family and move in those of the new First Family. This will include everything from switching out mattresses and restocking refrigerators to filling closets. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Republican strategist Bill McCoshen is in Washington and tells Wisconsin's Morning News what he expects to hear from the president-elect during the speech today.
I'm going to be very determined. Unity, strength, and fairness are the themes of the speech, and I call it the NASCAR start. This is going to be all gas and no brakes. I expect somewhere around 200 executive orders just today alone.
McCoshen says many of those who had planned to attend the outdoor ceremonies will be moved into the Capital One Arena, so they'll watch it in the arena due to the cold. Others not coming in now because of the lack of seating.
Wind chills 20 to 30 below zero today in southeast Wisconsin. And that's not the coldest it's going to get. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says our current temperatures are the coldest so far. We actually could have been worse off.
Thankfully, the lack of snow on the ground is actually really doing us a favor this morning. It could be about 10 degrees colder if we had a snowpack on the ground. It almost acts as a refrigerator and freezer to drop those temperatures even further.
Here's what we have in terms of weather advisories and warnings. Cold weather advisory in effect today through noon tomorrow, wind chills of 20 to 30 below. An extreme cold warning that is set to go into effect for areas north and west of Milwaukee from midnight tonight until noon tomorrow, with wind chills as low as 35 below. Important to note that that is typically when schools consider calling off classes for the day. No cancellations of note at this moment, but we'll be watching for that as that dangerously cold weather is predicted once again for tomorrow.
The cold blamed on the death of an 80-year-old man who was found on the south side on the sidewalk early Sunday morning. An autopsy on that man is going to take place today. Meanwhile, a few reminders on ways to keep the house warm and safe.
There's a few simple things you can do to heat your home more efficiently. Seal gaps around windows and doors. Change your furnace filter. Open the curtains or blinds when the sun is out, but close them at night to retain that heat. Space heaters and electric blankets should always be turned off and unplugged when not in use. A space heater should also be plugged directly into the wall and kept away from flammable materials. Also, to avoid risk for carbon monoxide poisoning, never use an oven to heat your home, and clear snow and ice away from your home's natural gas meter. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The markets closed today for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed the week at 43,488. That was up about 0.75%. The NASDAQ up nearly 300 points, 1.5% on Friday to 19,630. And the S&P 500 left things at 59.97. That was up 59 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited on WTMJ News Time 8:35.
Traffic is sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric, bestelect.com.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
January. I know, not the greatest always, right? WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you've got the January blues, brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. Enjoy any steak, seafood, pan-fried walleye, a fresh salad, the steak and lobster, anything on the menu. You got it. Your second dinner is always free. Desserts and those huge ice cream drinks are buy one, get one free. I think it's the best part of the meal. Sip on an old-fashioned. Check out the Manhattan, bourbon, 100 wines, ice-cold beer out of the tap. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is truly a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations are still up with thousands of lights, the Christmas characters. It's a must-see, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces keep you warm on a cold January night. Nice and cozy. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine, the drive is beautiful. Enjoy your free dinner tonight. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family. They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
David Nason here, your trusted Fix-It Show guy, here to give you some essential home maintenance advice. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, cracks in your basement, it's time to call the experts I trust at Accurate Basement Repair. They've fixed many of our listeners' basements, and the results were fantastic. Dry, secure, and peace of mind restored. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. Call them today.
Thanks, David. Accurate Basement Repair. We're not just good, we're accurate. .38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Still almost 2 hours away from the ceremony, the inauguration ceremony itself actually beginning in Washington, and yet people are gathering under the Capitol Rotunda. Everything moved indoors for today. There's a choir that is singing right now as folks will begin to arrive. Now, anytime you have something that's a high security event as this is, highest there is, you got the president, the sitting president, and the incoming president, and everybody else around. Almost entire membership of Congress, I believe, is going to be under the Capitol Rotunda.
The vice president-elect and his wife now arriving at the White House, shaking hands with Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband as they do the formalities, the smiles, the picture taking before they go in for their tea. And there they are. Okay, let's say you sit over here or you stand there.
Oh, yeah, the picture taking and whatnot. Yeah, that's important. Well, you know, I mean, all of these things are recorded for history.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, like, the portraits that you always have, the pictures that you always have, and that is ongoing as we speak. We spoke earlier with Representative Brian Stile of Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District. He said he was going to be in the Capitol Rotunda for the event today. I imagine every member of Congress, right? I mean, normally they would be there, even if it's outdoors, right?
Every member, so most people would show, you would think so?
But a number of the VIPs, so people who had VIP access to be on the mall and closer up inside of various security zones.
Capital One now.
Yeah,
Capital One
they were
Arena.
shipped off to the arena nearby in Washington to watch a live feed. And according to Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist from Wisconsin, who was among those VIPs, he said, like, a lot of those folks just went home. Because that's not what they were there for. They understand, but that's not what they were there for.
I thought it was interesting, too. Congressman Stiles said that it seemed like it reminded him of the RNC, where there's a lot of buzz in one real tight-knit area, a couple of blocks, but like outside of that, kind of dead in and around Washington, D.C.
Participating in the events today, you'll have former Archbishop of Milwaukee, Cardinal, and Archbishop of New York, now Timothy Dolan, among those offering the invocation this morning. The president-elect will become president, take the oath of office just after noon Eastern time, so just after 11 o'clock our time. Then, of course, the in-between that event and then the black tie galas tonight. When he becomes president, Trump expected to sign dozens of executive orders, up to 200, some folks have suggested. And perhaps we'll do it in what they're calling an omnibus executive order. So you'll have all of these various things. They get one signature, kind of like when Congress passes like a major budget deal and it's got like everything in it. They call it omnibus. They're suggesting that perhaps it's one signature and many different orders all contained in that. But that is supposed to happen this afternoon once former president and President-elect Trump becomes President Trump once again. 8:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie, also among those executive orders, expected to be, yes, legislation or an executive order that would continue to delay the U.S. ban on TikTok. We'll get into some of that next.
We got to fix the tiki-takis. Okay, 894 eastbound. We have a crash, believe it or not. It's at Forest Home, and the two left lanes are blocked with this. So that means we have delays basically stretching back towards the Hale interchange. So give yourself that extra time. It is going to be kind of backed up. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good right now because the volume's relatively light. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned with very low mileage Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Love it. Looks fantastic. It's on a black cloth interior. Every time I get in this truck, I say, that is amazing. 8-speed automatic transmission. Awesome mileage MPG for a truck. 24 city. Get this. 29 highway. Towing capacity. Payload is big. All the things you love about Heiser. Here's what I love about Heiser. All the great programs. Whether you're talking a pre-owned or new. Safe and sound program. Right? Vehicle exchange program. Right? Love it or exchange it. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day on this January 20th. We'll continue to monitor the progression of ceremonies for the inauguration of President-elect Trump. That is set to begin the actual ceremony about 10:30 our time this morning. Right now, right? The Trumps and the Bidens, the Vances, and
we've yet to see the Trumps arrive to the White House.
Okay, they're supposed to be having
the Vances have. The Vances have arrived and were welcomed by the Vice President and her husband. That happened about 10 minutes ago.
So it was going to be gone, and then it was gone, and then it came back. Its future this morning uncertain.
Happening today.
Shortly after taking the oath of office, President-elect Trump expected to sign an executive order that will continue to delay enforcement of a law that took effect briefly Sunday, banning the social media app TikTok in the U.S. Had the opportunity to watch this unfold, Eric, in real time.
Is that right?
Yes.
You had consumers watching the
yes.
The app no longer work?
My two Gen Z daughters were watching the app disappear, slide away from their grip Saturday night.
What's happening right now? Liv, what is happening?
I'm really sad.
Why? What is happening?
TikTok's getting banned! It's crashing!
What do you mean it's getting banned?
You hear like the whimpering in there?
It's crashing. No.
So what was fascinating to me is they were kind of right in their description while losing their minds. It was like in the process of getting banned.
It's currently crashing. Like I can't download any of my stuff. My stories archive won't even load. And like when I do get to the TikToks, they don't work. and I can't download anything anymore or post anything.
So one thing I thought was interesting, I mean, we basically made fun of the Gen Zs or millennials or whatever, and I have TikTok as well. I could take or leave it, whatever. I think probably it would be a net positive if my kids didn't have it anymore. But one of the things that they were trying to do is like, we've got all these videos instead of like stuff in the camera roll of your phone, or like we used to have photographs or photo albums. Like for them, like my daughters were telling me, like, these are our memories. This is where, like, we don't download all this stuff. So if it's gone and we can't access this, that's gone. So I'll grant you that as a means of value for them, and why it mattered. But I did think it was interesting. It didn't just disappear; it just sort of slid away, and then eventually it was gone. By Sunday morning, you couldn't access it anymore. And one of the hilarious things that apparently occurred in that interim period before it was back on is international TikTokers expressing remorse, sadness, emptiness.
I want the Americans back. I miss them. I miss them. I've learned my lesson. You can come back now. You can all come back now and join us. Be with us again. We miss you.
This Australian TikToker pining over the loss of the Americans.
Just so empty without them.
My kid said, the Canadians, they're like on our side. They're so sad that we're going to be gone. For real. They were showing me these videos, these Canadian TikTokers, like, where is everybody? This is terrible. Put the Americans back on.
So then it returned, though, right? Didn't it? Eventually, TikTok returned.
So I got the news. Yes. My daughter's like, it's back. It's back. It's back on. So what happened was, it was back on.
TikTok restoring service shortly after President-elect Trump stepped in, promising to delay enforcement of the ban by signing an executive order when he takes office today.
TikTok is back.
Trump saying his administration will not enforce hefty fines against tech companies like Apple, Google, and Oracle, which keep TikTok working. But Trump's options to save the app are still limited. The law requires TikTok's Chinese parent company to divest its stake in TikTok's U.S. platform due to national security concerns.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert there. So let's unpack that last part.
That's strange. Whether or not you like TikTok or not, we're just going to hold off on.
Yes.
We're not going to come after those who aren't enforcing the ban. No worries, Apple.
I told that to Congressman Steil of Wisconsin earlier. While I support an extension, like if it can be saved, right, and you think you're close to possibly getting a deal that satisfies the national security concerns, but also keeps this alive for the 170 million Americans who use the app. Oh, by the way, some for their livelihood, whether it be direct sales or sponsored content. Like, this is how people make their living. So not for nothing. While I support that, I also don't support just, and there's sort of bipartisan support for this too, we'll look the other way on what the actual law is.
But no, you passed this and it was signed into law.
Right.
A law is a law.
So, and just recently upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Correct.
So I would suggest, tomorrow we can all handle 48 hours without it. Tomorrow go back to Congress, have Congress pass that 90-day extension, have the president sign it, and do it that way. And then actually codify what exactly the process will be, because I also continue to agree these national security concerns, which, oh, by the way, the Gen Zs who dominate TikTok aren't buying. It's not that they don't believe it. My kids have said...
They just don't care?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily their opinion, but they're characterizing what they see in their feeds. They're saying, like, no one feels that anyone's made the case to them of why they should care. She goes, I get like elected officials and people with security clearances. You don't want them on TikTok. She goes, what does anybody care what I post on TikTok or what the Chinese Communist Party knows about me? I don't think they've taken into account the propaganda tool that it could be. That's one of the concerns, not just the data mining. But
it was pretty interesting what the congressman said, though. He says, isn't that amazing that they'd rather not have the money to sell it off? They'd rather just have the information. What does that tell you? That they'd rather have all of these users' information instead of a bunch of money for selling it to an American company.
It's a good pickup there. Yeah, exactly. So what happens in the days to come? We know right now TikTok is back. It does appear various media outlets are reporting that it can't be downloaded in the U.S. So if you didn't have TikTok heretofore, if you went in the App Store on Google Play or on Apple, it would not be there or available to be downloaded. But those who have it, once again, have access to it. Thank God. One more time before 9 o'clock here, Debbie.
Okay. Well, we do have this accident on 894 eastbound right at Forest Home. The 2 left lanes are blocked. So that means we've got big delays stretching all the way back into the Hale interchange, so be prepared for that. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. Relatively light volume and full freeway speeds. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Steve Scafidi is your guide through the world of politics.
Joining us now on the phone line is the governor of the great state of Wisconsin, Tony Evers.
On the Political Power Hour.
You signed an executive order this morning creating a Wisconsin Office of Violence Prevention. Walk us through that.
We'll be working with all sorts of people across the state. It's an opportunity to bring people together on these important issues. People are tired of the violence. They're tired of gun violence in particular. We just can't stand for that anymore.
Weekday mornings from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. When it's this cold, just stupid, frigid cold, yeah, how are those ankles feeling now? Your hips or that back when you're walking outside, maybe to get the garbage can or take the dog out. You're like, oh, this is what you need to do this year. This is another reminder. Take the cold weather as a reminder to say no to the joint pain and get moving again this year with the help from QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. They're right here. They got locations in Greenfield. They got another one in Mequon, and they can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. So there's no steroids, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. You can have a session, then go right back into work or go right back home. You don't have to deal with all that comes with PT in a situation like this. And this isn't newfangled treatment. They've been doing this a long time and have had a lot of success. Call QC Kinetics today. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
During your career, investments piled up. From 401ks to brokerage accounts, it turned into quite a collection. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. We've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews a portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to AnnexWealth.com.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores has been voted the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Best in Thrift. So to all who voted for us, thank you. And to those who haven't yet been here, there are so many items to explore. And at thrift store prices, you can find a really great deal. At the same time, you'll be helping us help others, sometimes folks right in your own neighborhood. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Gonna need it. High of just 5 degrees today. Wind chills dipping to 30 below. Actually, overnight and into tomorrow morning, even colder still, with air temperatures in the double digits below zero. Wind chills, some spots touching 35 below zero. Tuesday, sunshine, very cold. High of just 3. And so Tuesday, story to consider for tomorrow. We'll be watching out for any school closures. Many schools not in session today due to the Martin Luther King holiday. But we'll have to watch for school closures or delays tomorrow, as it will be right up on that threshold of where many schools decide to call things off when you get into that, what is now called a cold weather warning.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's not a wind chill anymore.
It used to be a wind chill warning.
Well, here we go. The arrival of the Trumps at the White House while President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden await their arrival. They stand on the red carpet so they can all shake hands, smile for pictures, and pretend they don't hate each other's guts.
It's happening right now. President-elect Trump is out of the vehicle. Future First Lady Melania Trump, holding hands and ascending the stairs, greeting the Bidens, all smiles. go inside, have some pictures. Tea is the official, I guess,
I'll just take a
line
Coke,
item,
please.
right? It's tea, but I suppose they could get what they want, right?
Now the big picture. There you go. And there you have it.
So we are just about 2 hours away. Sorry, 1 hour away. No, 2, right? 2 hours away from hearing this once again.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
So that's coming up about 11 o'clock our time today. Ceremony begins 10:30 our time. WTMJ Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi. That's up next.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Herb Cole died over a year ago, but his